Chapter 461. Perhaps I have a solution. Lin Moyu wasn't killing someone with soul flames for the first time. Nor was it the first time someone had died under the soul flames. But before, it was just being killed, Lin Moyu was using soul flames to obliterate someone's soul for the first time. This was a completely different concept from killing someone. The whole process was more like a slow slicing. It was Lin Moyu's first time doing this, so he was especially careful, afraid of missing a trace of remnant soul. In other words, Abe Yoshino thoroughly enjoyed the treatment of soul slicing. Miserable screams never stopped, especially since Lin Moyu was doing it for the first time. He specifically used the strengthened troops skill, which was equivalent to sprinkling salt on top of the slicing. Galan Liang and the others were all shocked. This brother Lin, who looked only level 52, this brother Lin, who didn't talk much and seemed harmless, how could his methods be like this? Galan Liang couldn't help but shout, "Shuang!" When dealing with enemies, anything goes. Especially for this kind of guy who colluded with abyss demons, that was a major crime of betraying the race. Betraying the human race deserves to be cut into 1,000 pieces. Abe Yoshino's screams finally extinguished completely after lasting for 10 seconds. He died very painfully. His whole body was twisted and deformed, covered in blood, without external injuries, the blood all exploded from inside his body. The death was unprecedentedly tragic. Lin Moyu looked at the others. Their hands and feet had already been chopped off, and they had nowhere to escape. With the first experience, the next was much smoother. Lin Moyu didn't hold back, these targets seemed to have become his experimental subjects at this moment. Screams rang through the barrier again, making people shudder. Lin Moyu did what he said, everyone's soul was obliterated. Even if they had planted soul imprints, there was absolutely no possibility of resurrection. After doing everything, the skeletons blasted open the barrier. Lin Moyu clapped his hands, "Brother Liang, let's continue to find the lantern fire fish." Galan Liang instinctively gave in, "Oh," but didn't move. Lin Moyu asked strangely, "Brother Liang, why aren't you leaving?" Galan Liang shook his head and said, "It's not easy to find, the lantern fire fish doesn't always appear on the Qinghai grassland. It hides in the ice layer most of the time, because the grassland exists, we can't find it in the ice layer. We waited a full 3 months for this opportunity. It's a pity it was ruined by the Black Dragon Society guys." So that's how it was. No wonder Galan Liang was so angry just now. But now that Abe Yoshino and these people were all dead, there was no need to say anything more. Lin Moyu saw that Galan Liang's face wasn't good, and couldn't help but ask, "Why are you looking for the lantern fire fish?" Galan Liang said, "People in our guild were injured, and a strange toxin has invaded their bodies, they need the lantern on top of the lantern fire fish's head to detoxify." So that's how it was. Lin Moyu thought for a while, if it's poisoning, perhaps I have a solution. Galan Liang's face showed a look of surprise, "Brother Lin, are you serious?" Lin Moyu nodded, "As long as it's not some particularly powerful poison, it should be no problem." The particularly powerful poison Lin Moyu was referring to was the corpse poison in the corpse world. Galan Liang quickly said, "Then let's go back now." Saying that, he took the lead and flew towards the base. The team members behind also quickly followed. They had already been shocked by Lin Moyu's methods and were speechless, each looking at Lin Moyu with a trace of admiration, even fear. Killing Abe Yoshino and his group was so easy, then killing them should also be very easy. Everyone would involuntarily respect the strong. Galan Liang couldn't help but ask halfway, "Brother Lin, are you really level 52? Lin Moyu nodded, "Really? Then how could it be?" Lin Moyu knew what he wanted to ask, "Brother Liang, if you want to know about me, you can find out when you return to the human world, I'm a bit famous there." More than a bit famous, he was the most famous in the past year. In addition, there was also the newly successfully transferred Earth Knight, which was also the hottest thing in the human race. Galan Liang would definitely hear about it as soon as he returned to the human world. Galan Liang didn't continue to ask more questions, he was a smart person, knowing what to ask and what not to ask. Soon, Lin Moyu saw the Galan Guild's base. The Galan Guild had built a fortress of 100 meters in radius here, enough to accommodate thousands of people. The base was right on the edge of the Qinghai grassland, because only the monsters on the Qinghai grassland would not actively attack, making it the safest place here. Lin Moyu followed Galan Liang into the base. There were many people from the Galan Guild in the base, all greeting Galan Liang. At the same time, they were curious about Lin Moyu, a stranger. After all, Lin Moyu looked only level 52 on the surface. A level 52 appearing in the lower space was definitely a super news. Galan Liang led Lin Moyu to the courtyard behind the fortress. The courtyard was slightly quiet, planted with many flowers and plants, and filled with a faint medicinal fragrance. The medicinal fragrance was also mixed with tea fragrance. The whole courtyard seemed a bit elegant. Lin Moyu's first feeling was that the person living in the courtyard should also be a refined person. In the fortress built of stone, there was unexpectedly another world, which was very peculiar. Seeming to have heard the sound, the door of a small house on the edge of the courtyard was pushed open. A woman in a light yellow dress came out, and couldn't help but smile when she saw Galan Liang. Liang is back. She wasn't very pretty, at most just delicate. But her temperament was very good, and fit the courtyard very well. Lin Moyu saw that her face was slightly pale. She should have been injured. Galan Liang's resolute face showed a gentle smile. Donger, let me introduce you, this is Lin Moyu, brother Lin. At the same time, he also introduced to Lin Moyu, brother Lin, this is my lover, Han Donger. Han Donger smiled slightly at Lin Moyu. Hello, brother Lin. Lin Moyu also said, hello, sister-in-law. Han Donger had an elegant and gentle temperament, somewhat similar to Shu Han. At the same time, she was also a pharmacist, with the professional mark of a pharmacist on the cuff of her clothes. Lin Moyu asked, Brother Liang, why don't you take sister-in-law back to the human world? We have god-level pharmacists in the Divine Sha Empire, they should be able to cure sister-in-law. Galan Liang gave a wry smile. Lord Medicine God can definitely cure Donger, but our Galan guild can't afford to invite him. After Donger was injured and poisoned, all attributes were suppressed, even worse than an ordinary person. She can't withstand the energy impact brought about by interworld transmission. Galan Liang said the reason. Han Donger's attributes were now suppressed to the limit, even worse than an ordinary person. She couldn't leave here, and the Galan guild didn't have the ability to invite the medicine god over. After all, with the medicine god's status and level, he would have to go to the deep space first, and then find a space-time channel to return to the upper space. The process was extremely troublesome. That's why Galan Liang wanted to find a way to get the lantern on top of the lantern firefish's head. It could detoxify the poison on Han Dong's body. Lin Moyu asked, where was sister-in-law poisoned? Galan Liang said, it was in the ice layer of the Qinghai grassland. We had a chance to encounter a crack in the ice layer, and curiosity drove us to take a look. As a result, we encountered a monster inside. That monster carried cold poison. Lin Moyu didn't continue to ask more questions, and took out a jade bottle. 57. Inside the jade bottle was a crystal-like liquid, the spinal fluid of the highly venomous Jiaolong. Open black lens bracket spinal fluid of highly venomous Jiaolong, a legendary antidote that can neutralize potent toxins. Each drop consumed grants a 1% increase in poison elemental immunity. Close black lens bracket. Lin Moyu handed the jade bottle to Han Donger. Try it and see if it works. Han Donger blinked her large eyes, sensing the extraordinary nature of the liquid within the jade bottle. Upon opening it, a refreshing fragrance filled the air, invigorating her spirits. She looked amazed, so magical. Then, her fingertip glowed with light, the only skill she could currently use, the detection spell. After receiving the information, Han Donger couldn't help but cover her mouth. Brother Lin, did you kill the highly venomous Jiaolong? Jia Lanliang exclaimed in surprise. Brother Lin, you killed the highly venomous Jiaolong. Lin Moyu nodded. Killed it. The atmosphere suddenly fell silent, as if the air had solidified. Jia Lanliang looked at Lin Moyu with disbelief, as if he were looking at a monster. After several seconds, Jia Lanliang suddenly burst into laughter. This is great. Won't the Flying Eagle Guild people have wasted their trip? Lin Moyu smiled. Sister-in-law, try it and see if it works. Han Donger immediately drank the spinal fluid of the highly venomous Jiaolong. Then, Han Donger's body emitted a brilliant light, and her aura began to rapidly increase. Chapter 462. The only city in the lower level space. Han Donger's aura continued to climb, becoming stronger and stronger. Jia Lanliang looked delighted, knowing that Han Donger's poison was truly being neutralized. It seems the spinal fluid of the highly venomous Jiaolong is quite effective. I wonder if it will work on corpse poison. We can find a chance to try it. Lin Moyu thought of the human divine level expert who had saved him in the corpse world. A drop of kindness deserves a spring in return. As long as there was a sliver of hope, Lin Moyu would strive to save them. Even though this hope was extremely slim, and even Antares had told him it was impossible, Lin Moyu never considered giving up. Lin Moyu asked, "Brother Liang, can you tell me about the situation beneath the ice layer in the Qinghai grasslands?" "Of course, no problem." Now, Jia Lanliang regarded Lin Moyu as a godlike figure. He answered every question. Jia Lanliang had been in the lower level space for many years and knew much more than Lin Moyu. 1 meter below the Qinghai grasslands is a layer of permafrost, usually invisible. Because of the characteristics of the Qinghai grasslands, any attack is absorbed by the entire grassland and then reflected. The stronger the attack, the more intense the reflection. Unless the attack is powerful enough to destroy the entire Qinghai grasslands, it's impossible to see the ice layer. It can be said that this 1 meter thick grassland protects the ice layer. However, the monsters living on the Qinghai grasslands are not affected by the grassland's reflection mechanism. To see the ice layer, one way is to wait for the monsters to drink water. The monsters will melt the grassland and the ice layer, revealing the ice layer. The ice layer is not as solid as the grassland. As long as the attack power is sufficient, the ice layer can be broken. According to Jia Lanliang, most professionals above level 80 can do it. Lin Moyu calculated and found that he couldn't do it without activating that strong soldier state. His combat power was strong, but in terms of instantaneous burst, he was still inferior to top professionals. The attribute difference was too great. Even rare professions among top professionals at level 80 had millions of attributes. For warriors, the strength attribute alone could exceed 500,000, plus various states, equipment bonuses, and skill bonuses. The instantaneous burst was indeed much stronger than the skeleton berserker. If this method didn't work, then there was only the second method left. The second method relied entirely on luck, needing to encounter a crack in the ice layer. Jia Lanliang had encountered an ice layer crack once, so they went down. As a result, Han Donger was injured by a monster under the ice layer and poisoned with a difficult-to-cure toxin. According to Jia Lanliang, they encountered a monster called the longsword dragonfish. Its appearance was similar to the lantern firefish, except that the lantern on its head had become a sharp sword. This longsword dragonfish was also a lord-level boss and very aggressive. As for other information, he didn't know. However, Lin Moyu also learned that the thickness of the ice layer was about 50 meters. Han Donger's aura continued to rise, and it was now almost at the level of 40. She had been injured for a long time, and it would take some time to recover. Lin Moyu pondered for a moment and asked, "Can we go through the seabed?" Next to the Qinghai grasslands is the Azure Dragon Sea, which borders the eastern continent. Logically, the Azure Dragon Sea should lead to the bottom of the Qinghai grasslands. Jia Lanliang shook his head. "No, someone has tried it before. They dived thousands of meters deep, and still encountered the ice layer. You can understand it this way, the entire Qinghai grasslands is actually a large piece of ice. It's just that there's a layer of grassland on top of it." Lin Moyu finally had a complete understanding of the Qinghai grasslands and became even more interested. After the trip to the poison pool, he felt that there must be secrets beneath the Qinghai grasslands. It's just that he didn't have the strength to explore it now, but he would definitely go and see it in the future. The two chatted for a while, and Han Donger's aura finally stabilized. She was also a professional above level 80, not much worse than Jia Lanliang. There were not many top alchemists above level 80, and she might even become a divine level alchemist in the future. Han Donger was much more valuable than Jia Lanliang. When Jia Lanliang appeared in the fortress with the fully recovered Han Donger, it once again caused a burst of exclamations. The Divine Dragon Continent, the lower level of the ancient battlefield, the easternmost continent. It is said to be the oldest continent, with many things that seem to have some connection with the Divine Xia Empire. When Lin Moyu heard Jia Lanliang's introduction, his first reaction was not the Divine Xia Empire. But he felt it had something to do with ancient China. After all, the origin rune skill he obtained was ancient Chinese writing. The teleportation array of the Divine Dragon Continent was built on the edge of a cliff because this was a relatively safe place in the Divine Dragon Continent. Not only were there no people, but there were also few monsters. Not far away was a city, belonging to the Divine Xia Empire. The Jia Land Guild was in the city. In addition to the Jia Land Guild's teleportation array, there were several other teleportation arrays nearby, all owned by some folk forces of the Divine Xia Empire. The teleportation array in the city was only allowed to be built by the official Divine Xia Empire for safety reasons. Standing on the edge of the cliff, he saw the Azure Dragon Sea. The Azure Dragon Sea was boundless, the seawater was blue-green, the seawater hit the edge of the cliff and bounced back, colliding with the undercurrents in the sea, stirring up waves. Intertwined into a very special picture. Jia Lanliang said, I don't know why some people call it the Azure Dragon Sea. Some people say that the waves look like dragons, but I think they look more like snakes. Where is there such a dragon? Lin Moyu squinted his eyes, thinking in his heart, it is the dragon in China, not the dragon here. The waves did look like the dragon in Chinese legends. After watching for a while, the two walked towards the city. The only one capable of building a city in the lower level space is my Divine Xia Empire. Other countries like the Eagle Country, the Sakura Country, the Kimchi Country, and some other messy forces, can't do it. 58. Brother Lin, do you know why? Lin Moyu naturally knew that the Eternal Battlefield's land possessed self-healing abilities. No matter what was done on it, it would quickly be restored to its original state. Seeing that Lin Moyu didn't speak, he continued, because our Divine Xia Empire has a half-step transcendent powerhouse, other countries don't. Only a half-step transcendent powerhouse has the ability to change the land here, and can build cities on it. Jialin Liang's tone was filled with deep pride. Lin Moyu observed the land, indeed the land here was different from other places. Half-step transcendent, truly extraordinary. They could even change the land of the eternal battlefield. Divine Xia Ancient City, as its name suggested, was very ancient, with a history of over 1,000 years. It was established by a half-step transcendent at the beginning of the Divine Xia Empire. Later, that half-step transcendent disappeared for some reason, but the ancient city was always preserved. Other countries were only envious of this, but dared not to covet the ancient city. If they angered the Divine Xia Empire, and provoked the only half-step transcendent in the world, they would definitely not have a good time. There is a teleportation array in Divine Xia Ancient City, which can be used to travel to the east, south, and north regions of the Divine Dragon Continent. It's a pity that I am not qualified to use it, at least a 6-star colonel is required to use the teleportation array in the ancient city. Jialin Liang continued to introduce Lin Moyu. Entering Divine Xia Ancient City, Lin Moyu had the illusion of returning to the human world. People were coming and going, and a large number of level 70 and above professionals were active here. There were even places to post missions, training halls and other facilities. The military of the Divine Xia Empire had sent a large number of troops to be stationed here all year round to maintain order. Lin Moyu asked, I want to go to the Northern Wind and Thunder Continent, if I go through the teleportation array, would it be much closer? Jialin Liang said, that's natural, it will save at least tens of thousands of kilometers. And these tens of thousands of kilometers are not safe. Although the monsters in the Divine Dragon Continent are a bit weaker than those in the Wild Continent, there are still many level 80 bosses. Suddenly he thought of something, and slapped his head, forgot about Brother Lin's strength, you can even kill in level 85 poisonous flood dragon, what are these monsters? You only need to be careful of a few world bosses and there won't be any problems. Lin Moyu knew his own situation best. He was able to kill the poisonous flood dragon because he had calculated to the limit. If the poisonous flood dragon was a little smarter, a little more cunning, he would have had no chance. Since he could use the teleportation array, Lin Moyu naturally chose the teleportation array. Jialin Liang didn't know what Lin Moyu was thinking, and pulled him towards a shop. Let's buy a map first, it will definitely be useful in the lower space. The shops here were also officially opened by the Divine Xia Empire, and there were many people queuing outside the shops. However, there was an empty passage on the side. Lin Moyu asked, why is there no one there? Jialin Liang said, that is a special passage for military officers, specially for officers above the rank of 6-star colonel. This place is managed by the military, so there are some preferential treatments for military officers. Lin Moyu immediately raised his leg and walked over, then let's go that way. Chapter 463. So the identity of the Divine General is so useful. Jialin Liang pulled Lin Moyu, no, I'm only a 1-star colonel. Jialin Liang was a little embarrassed when he said this, after all, he was already level 82, but he was still only a 1-star colonel. It was only because he had been mixing in the eternal battlefield, and had not killed many demons or dragons. He didn't earn much military merit. If he had been mixing in the Yuan battlefield, he would have been able to become a 7-star or 8-star colonel by now. Lin Moyu smiled. It's okay, I'm qualified. Jialin Liang didn't doubt Lin Moyu's words. Although Lin Moyu was only level 52, everything he showed could not be measured by common sense. The two walked towards the special passage for military officers. The people who were queuing up all showed mocking smiles. Are these two guys crazy? That is a special passage for military officers. This knight is wearing a 1-star colonel badge. Although he is also a military officer, he is still far from a 6-star colonel. Yeah, the other one, huh, how is that guy only level 52? I'll go. How did a level 52 person get here? He must have used some rare props to hide his level. But level doesn't matter here. Here only military merit matters, not level. Just watch, they will be kicked out soon. Lin Moyu had already walked into the shop. This passage was an independent area, completely separated from ordinary customers. Moreover, there would be special personnel to provide services here, and military officers could enjoy different treatments here, which would make them appear superior. The military's management was extremely strict, with detailed regulations for every corner, and strictly enforced according to the regulations. There was no possibility of accommodation. The shop basically sold things that were useful in the lower space. There were all kinds of materials. Jialin Liang whispered, there is no exchange in the ancient city, all materials are bought and sold here. Here, even Jialin Liang, who was always loud and forthright, became soft-spoken. Less than 2 seconds after they entered the shop, a female soldier had already walked over. Please show your military badges. If you do not meet the requirements, please go to the other passage to queue up. She had a slightly resolute appearance, with the heroic bearing unique to soldiers. Judging from the military badge on her shoulder, this was an 8-star second lieutenant. She saw the 1-star colonel badge on Jialin Liang's shoulder, first gave a military salute, and then said, you are a 1-star colonel, which does not meet the requirements here. Then she looked at Lin Moyu, where is your military badge? Her eyes looking at Lin Moyu were a little strange, even a little contemptuous. As a soldier, generally speaking, they would not take off their military badges. The military badge represented the honor of a soldier. But Lin Moyu did not have a military badge on his shoulder. Either Lin Moyu was not a soldier, or Lin Moyu did not respect the military badge. In her eyes, Lin Moyu probably belonged to the latter. Lin Moyu silently took out his military badge and put it on his shoulder. The purple military badge had a noble aura, 2 solid stars were particularly dazzling, and another star with only an outline was also shining. After seeing Lin Moyu's military badge, a trace of contempt in her eyes disappeared instantly, replaced by strong shock and disbelief. The next second, the shock turned into deep respect. She immediately stood up straight and gave Lin Moyu an extremely standard military salute, and shouted, Ancient City Legion, 86th Squadron, Ling Nan, greets Divine General. Lin Moyu nodded, well, I should be qualified, right? Yes, Ling Nan replied without hesitation. Lin Moyu asked again, what about my friend? Ling Nan immediately replied loudly, according to regulations, the Divine General can authorize anyone with sufficient rights. Jialin Liang was even more shocked than Ling Nan at this time. He had guessed that Lin Moyu's military rank would not be low, but he never thought that Lin Moyu would be a Divine General. He was a little confused now, feeling that the world was changing too fast, too magical. Was he getting old? Had the outside world changed during his years in the eternal battlefield? 59. Moreover, Lin Mo was not an ordinary Divine General, but a 2-star Divine General. This indicated that Lin Mo had killed a Demon King level demon. That was a powerful existence comparable to a human god level powerhouse, and he killed such an existence at level 52. It was too unbelievable. Lin Mo said to Ling Nan, Lieutenant Ling Nan, I want to buy a map of the lower realm. Ling Nan immediately replied, Divine General, please follow me. Officers received dedicated service in the shops, and Ling Nan was the service personnel. This was a right established by the military for officers who met the requirements. To enjoy this right, one had to kill demons, earn military merits, and contribute to the human race. The rewards were equal to the effort, which was very fair. Divine General, this map is currently the most comprehensive map. Ling Nan handed a map to Lin Mo. The map was very detailed, with all known areas marked. As long as Lin Mo left his mark on the map, it would automatically display his current location, making it very convenient to use. Thank you. How much does it cost? Lin Mo was very satisfied. He saw the Burial Thunder Canyon on the map. Ling Nan quickly waved her hand. It's free. Lin Mo was stunned. Free. Ling Nan nodded repeatedly. Divine generals have many privileges, and many places in the ancient city are free of charge. Lin Mo guessed that it was probably the same as in the meta battlefield fortress. Divine generals did not have to pay for using various military facilities. Lin Mo accepted the map without hesitation. Since there was such a rule, it meant that it was originally his due. Lin Mo asked again, do you have detailed information about the lower realm? Yes, but the information in the shop is not very comprehensive. Please wait a moment, Divine General. Ling Nan contacted someone using her communicator. Lin Mo heard a slightly exaggerated voice from the communicator. After disconnecting, Ling Nan said, please wait a moment, Divine General. Someone will bring the detailed information soon. Lin Mo nodded, then tell me, what other useful things are there in the shop? Yes, sir. Outside the shop, the people still waiting in line wondered, why haven't those two guys been kicked out yet? Could it be that the level 52 young man is a 6-star colonel? I don't think so. I didn't even see him wearing an officer's badge. Maybe he put it away. Are you kidding? Have you ever seen an officer put away his officer's badge, especially in this ancient city? Amidst their discussions, a person descended from the sky and rushed into the shop. Good heavens, flying over here, who is that? I recognize the one in the lead. It's Feng Yiming, the 9-star colonel and legion commander of the ancient city army. Why is the legion commander here? Could it be that the identities of those two people are special? No, it should be that the young man's identity is unusual. I also know the other person. He is Jia Lan Liang, the young president of the Jia Lan Guild. Although the Jia Lan Guild is the #1 guild in the Divine Summer Empire, and even the #1 guild among all human races. The identity of the young president is not bad. However, compared to the military, it was insignificant and completely incomparable. At least Jia Lan Liang was not qualified to enter the officer-only channel. His identity as the young president was not very useful in the ancient city. Since this was the case, the only one who could alarm Legion Commander Feng Yiming was that young man. For a time, everyone was guessing Lin Mo's identity. 0.2. But no one could guess it. In the shop, Feng Yiming respectfully saluted Lin Mo. Feng Yiming, 9-star colonel and legion commander of the ancient city army, greets the divine general. Lin Mo knew from his attire that Feng Yiming was a member of the Feng family. The Feng family was a military family, with generations of soldiers, possessing a unique temperament. Lin Mo smiled, Legion Commander, you don't need to be so polite. Lin Mo spoke casually, but Feng Yiming did not dare to be disrespectful to the divine general. This was the military's regulation, and as a member of a military family, he valued it very much. He did not expect that a divine general would come to the divine summer ancient city. He rushed over as soon as he received the news. Moreover, it was not an ordinary 1-star divine general, but a 2-star divine general who had truly killed a demon king. This was a symbol of strength. How could he dare to be disrespectful? Feng Yiming took out several thick books. Divine General, all the information we currently have about the lower realm is here. Where would you like to read them? Lin Mo took the information. I'll read them here. Chapter 464. He is a legend. Lin Mo read the information very quickly, reading 10 lines at a glance, with perfect recall. The several volumes of seemingly thick information were all read by Lin Mo in just 1 hour. Throughout the entire process, Feng Yiming did not speak, nor did he even make a sound. He just quietly watched Lin Mo read. However, during this period, he operated the communicator on his wrist. Gradually, his gaze towards Lin Mo changed. The look of respect in his eyes grew stronger. Through his own channels, he obtained some information about Lin Mo and learned about Lin Mo's various deeds. He knew how Lin Mo had obtained his title as a 2-star divine general. Lin Mo was excessively young, and in just 1 year, he had already accomplished achievements that most people could not achieve in their entire lives. Lin Mo returned the information to Feng Yiming. Legion Commander Feng, I would like to borrow the teleportation array in the ancient city. Feng Yiming patted his chest. No problem. When do you plan to leave? Right now. The group left the shop and headed to the teleportation array. The group of top-level professionals outside the shop watched Lin Mo and his group leave with their own eyes. They also saw with their own eyes that Legion Commander Feng Yiming was leading the way. A sharp-eyed person saw the officer's badge on Lin Mo's shoulder. Good heavens, a divine general has arrived. I saw it too. I didn't expect this person to be a divine general. No wonder Legion Commander Feng rushed over. Your father, was really blind. I didn't expect him to be a divine general. I just don't know which divine general it is that would come here. I know who he is. He should be Lin Mo. Some people had come to the lower realm not long ago and had heard stories about Lin Mo in the human world. Now, after comparing the information, they basically guessed it. Immediately, he was surrounded by people who asked him about Lin Mo. It is believed that soon the story of Lin Mo will spread throughout the ancient city. Lin Mo arrived in front of the teleportation array. Lin Mo said to Jialan Liang, "Brother Liang, I'll go first. I hope to see you again in the future." After learning Lin Mo's identity, Jialan Liang became a little restrained. Okay, see you again in the future. Lin Mo sighed inwardly. This was the reason why he didn't reveal his officer's badge. Otherwise, it would be like this now, and even normal communication would become difficult. In this regard, Jialan Liang was somewhat different from Shi Xing'an. 60. Shi Xing'an remained the same from beginning to end, without the slightest change. With a hint of regret, Lin Moyu stepped into the teleportation array. After seeing Lin Moyu off, Feng Yiming let out a long breath. This is a great god. Lang Nan was a little puzzled. Commander, haven't gods generals come before? Feng Yiming said, God generals are also different. Have you seen a level 52 god general? Lang Nan was stunned for a moment. Didn't he hide his level? Feng Yiming laughed. He didn't hide it. He really is level 52. How is that possible? Lang Nan was stunned. She had always thought that Lin Moyu had hidden his level, and should actually be over level 80, or even a god. Feng Yiming's eyes were thoughtful. He is a legend. The teleportation array took Lin Moyu across tens of thousands of kilometers to the northern part of the Divine Dragon continent. It is said that the teleportation array of Divine Summer Ancient City was built together with the Ancient City, and it also uses a fixed point one-way teleportation method. There is no corresponding teleportation array at the place where Lin Moyu landed. In other words, if he wants to return to Divine Summer Ancient City, he either has to walk back himself, or return through the teleportation stone. Teleportation stones are sold in stores, and Feng Yiming also gave Lin Moyu a box, a full 10 pieces. Unless one is in a dungeon secret realm, or some special place. As long as one is in the lower space, one can return to Divine Summer Ancient City through the teleportation stone. These teleportation stones are all one-time use, and are quite valuable, with each one selling for over 50 million gold coins. Equivalent to half a high-level skill scroll, ordinary professionals are generally reluctant to use them. Feng Yiming gave away 500 million gold coins in one go, which was very generous. Lin Moyu spread out his lightning undead wings and hurried north. According to the information he had just read, he would be able to see the Wind and Thunder Sea in about 100 kilometers. Beyond the Wind and Thunder Sea is the Wind and Thunder continent. Burial Thunder Canyon is located near the center of the Wind and Thunder continent. According to the information Lin Moyu currently has, this distance from the teleportation array to the Wind and Thunder Sea is relatively peaceful. There are no powerful bosses. At most, there are some ordinary monsters over level 70, which are not difficult for Lin Moyu to clear. Even so, Lin Moyu was still very careful. He didn't fly too high, nor too fast, watching his surroundings. Among the 4 continents, the Divine Dragon continent is the safest. The other 3 continents are much more dangerous. The sound of waves gradually rang in his ears, and a few minutes later, Lin Moyu arrived at the seaside. Boom! Thunder resounded through the sky, illuminating the originally dim sky of the ancient battlefield for a moment. Lin Moyu saw lightning and thunder in the depths of the Wind and Thunder Sea. Dense lightning connected the sky and the earth, falling into the sea, stirring up thousands of huge waves. Unlike the Azure Dragon Sea, the Wind and Thunder Sea is obviously much more violent. Each continent is separated by sea areas, and each sea area has different characteristics. The characteristics of the Wind and Thunder Sea are wind and thunder, hence the name. Wind and thunder interrupt the space, which also makes it impossible to set up teleportation arrays in the 2 places. Some people have tried it before, but without exception, the teleportation was blocked by wind and thunder halfway. either falling into the void space, or randomly appearing somewhere. Some people even went to the most dangerous meteorite continent due to spatial chaos, and never came back. It was finally confirmed that the safest and most reliable way to go to the Wind and Thunder continent is to fly over the Wind and Thunder Sea. Lin Moyu observed the situation in the Wind and Thunder Sea. To successfully cross the Wind and Thunder Sea, the first thing to be careful of is the wind and thunder on the sea. I have immunity to both elements, which is not a problem. Secondly, pay attention to the monsters in the Sea Clan. There is a monster called Flying Fish in the Wind and Thunder Sea, which has both wind and thunder attributes. Each flying fish group will have a flying fish king, which is a lord-level boss, which requires extra caution. Besides that, there should be nothing else. Lin Moyu carefully recalled the information he had just read. Then he found the right direction and flew straight out. He increased his speed to the fastest, 700 meters per second. The Divine Dragon continent is less than 3,000 kilometers away from the Wind and Thunder continent. At his speed, he can cross the Wind and Thunder Sea in about 30 minutes. Looking at the wide ocean under his feet, Lin Moyu really found it hard to imagine what kind of strong person could divide the entire continent into four. Even forming oceans in it, and turning the center of the divided continents into an endless void. God-level powerhouses should not have this ability, and even demigods may not be able to do it. At least it must be a super god-level powerhouse. Or someone at the level of Antares. Maybe one day, I can too. Boom. Thunder came from his ears, and Lin Moyu had already rushed into the thunder zone. The seawater in the Wind and Thunder Sea was rolled up by the strong wind, rolled up into the sky, and then fell down, looking like it was raining heavily. Lightning continued to fall. Any creature that enters it will be locked by lightning. Originally, the lightning fell randomly, but when Lin Moyu entered the thunder zone, the lightning had a target. Dense lightning struck Lin Moyu like raindrops. Lin Moyu was not afraid at all, and accepted it calmly. 80% electric element immunity, plus his own 600% element resistance increase, allowed Lin Moyu to ignore the lightning strikes. On the contrary, the slightly numb feeling made him a little nostalgic. Missing the time in the corpse realm, he was struck by lightning again and again. Truly sparks with lightning, Lin Moyu rushed towards the Wind and Thunder continent without hesitation. A few minutes later, black spots appeared in front of him, and Lin Moyu saw black strange fish. These fish have flat and slender bodies, looking like unpolished sword blanks. Each fish has dozens of pairs of small wings. They are in groups, numbering over 100, breaking through the strong wind, and flying fast. Lightning does not strike them at all. Flying fish, Lord. Lin Moyu saw the largest one in the flying fish group. The flying fish lord is over 10 meters long, standing out from the flying fish group with an average length of only 3 meters. The flying fish group also discovered Lin Moyu, and collectively changed direction and pounced on Lin Moyu. The speed is extremely fast, like an arrow from a bow. Chapter 465 Crossing the Wind and Thunder Sea, Wind and Thunder Algae Group. The speed of the flying fish exceeded Lin Moyu's imagination. A distance of hundreds of meters took less than 0.1 seconds. And it came silently. If a surprise attack was launched from behind, it might not be discovered. But no matter how fast, it is useless in front of Lin Moyu. The flying fish had just approached Lin Moyu and had no time to launch an attack, when they suddenly stopped collectively. A dense layer of bones enveloped them. Skill, bone prison. Hundreds of flying fish, including the lord-level boss among them, were all bound at the same time. Binding so many monsters at the same time, and these monsters are all much higher level than Lin Moyu, the binding duration is quite short. 61. In less than a second, the bone prison showed signs of collapsing. But it was enough. A red light flashed, and all the flying fish were simultaneously cursed. Immediately afterward, a detection spell landed on the flying fish lord. Flying Fish Lord, Lord-level boss. Level, 79. Strength, 500,000. Agility, 1,000,000. Spirit, 500,000. Constitution, 700,000. Skills, Piercing Wind, Chain Lightning. Traits, 50% reduction in wind elemental damage, immunity to lightning element, greatly enhanced speed. Total attributes of 2.7 million, not too high. Having gotten used to the attributes of world bosses, looking back at the attributes of this lord-level boss, there's really no feeling anymore. Lin Moyu was exceptionally calm, and after reading the attributes, he already had a plan in mind. The undead legion appeared, instantly forming a counter-encirclement against the flying fish monster group. The most troublesome thing about the flying fish monster group is their sheer number. Therefore, people who cross the Wind and Thunder Sea usually travel in groups. At least 50 people are needed to have the confidence to cross the sea. Someone like Lin Moyu, traveling alone, is absolutely unique. 2 seconds later, all the bone prison on the flying fish monsters collapsed. The flying fish lord screamed, its entire body emitting light. All the flying fish were flashing with light. Thunder rumbled in the air, and in an instant, a large amount of lightning fell from the sky, landing in the flying fish group. Then, the lightning passed through the dense flying fish group and landed on the skeletons. Skill: chain lightning, not only relying on its own power, but also borrowing the lightning in nature. This skill is quite powerful, a collective effort of the flying fish group. If other professionals were to encounter this, even those over level 80 like Jia Lanliang would find it very troublesome. But against the Undead Legion, it was still far from enough. The Undead Legion was too large, and the lightning damage was collectively distributed, so the damage received by each skeleton was not high. The Lich General only needed to heal a few times to recover. Amidst the lightning, the skeletons launched a counterattack. Killed level 76 flying fish monster, experience plus 4560000. Obtained flying fish scale. Killed level 76 flying fish monster, experience plus 4560000. Obtained flying fish scale. Prompts kept appearing, the attacks of the skeleton archmages and sharpshooters were extremely fierce. With one round of attacks, more than half of the flying fish monsters were damaged. When dealing with world-class bosses, the archmage's elemental explosion and the sharpshooter's arrows couldn't even break through the defense without the assistance of the strong soldier skill. But when dealing with these high agility, low defense flying fish monsters, they were universally effective great weapons. Especially since both of these skills had locking attributes, the flying fish monsters had nowhere to escape no matter how fast they were. Coupled with the curse of aging, Lin Moyu was completely certain that he could walk sideways when facing monsters below level 80. Walking sideways on land, and he could push sideways in the Wind and Thunder Sea. Even the Flying Fish Lord only lasted less than 3 minutes under the Undead Legion's siege. The difference between level 79 and level 80 is still quite significant. Killed Flying Fish Lord, experience plus 790000. Obtained Flying Fish Knight Sword. Obtained Flying Fish Essence. Flying Fish Knight Sword, Knight exclusive quasi-legendary weapon, all attributes plus 20000, Knight attack skills amplified by 100%. Flying Fish Essence, material for manufacturing quasi-legendary equipment. Lin Moyu glanced at the attributes, although it was also called a quasi-legendary weapon, the attributes were really too poor. And it didn't even have the most important attached skill, it wasn't even as good as some top-quality platinum-level weapons. The only advantage was that it increased attributes relatively more. Lin Moyu casually put it away, and would directly throw it into the exchange in the future. Easily solving the flying fish monster group, Lin Moyu continued to move forward. The lightning became more and more dense, and the roar continued to echo around his ears. Lin Moyu flew too fast. The faster he flew in the Wind and Thunder Sea, the more lightning he attracted. From a distance, Lin Moyu had turned into a ball of lightning, dragging a long tail, streaking across the sky. After flying for more than 10 minutes, Lin Moyu had arrived at the center of the Wind and Thunder Sea. Waves of energy fluctuations came from the left. Someone is fighting. And there are quite a few people. The vast mental power gave Lin Moyu extremely keen perception. He instantly judged that a battle was taking place about 3,000 meters away from him. And the scale of the battle was not small, filled with the aura of professionals. Lin Moyu flew over directly without much thought. From a distance, he saw a large number of black spots. Lightning permeated there, and it had turned into a large thunderball. Thousands of flying fish monsters were launching attacks on a large number of human professionals. In addition to the flying fish monsters, there were also several huge tentacles rising from the sea, attacking the professionals along with the flying fish monsters. Through the thunderball, Lin Moyu saw that at least 50 or 60 professionals were trapped inside. They had tried to break through several times, but had not succeeded. There were too many flying fish monsters, and coupled with the monsters from under the water, they could only defend. A flying fish monster group of over 1,000, that's rare. Although flying fish monsters are group monsters, they are generally in groups of 100 or so. Such a large number of thousands is even rarer. And to be able to lead so many flying fish monsters, the level of the flying fish lord among them would probably exceed level 80. Above level 80 and below level 80 are completely different strengths. However, there are also several top professionals above level 80 among the humans, who are directing the entire battle, otherwise they would have been defeated long ago. Lin Moyu watched for a while and realized that the biggest trouble was still the monster under the ocean. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and plunged into the sea. Under the sea, he saw the main body of the tentacles. This was a monster similar to a plant. A fluffy ball, like a clump of seaweed. These extended tentacles were its vines. It floated in the sea like this, very strange. Wind Thunder Algae Cluster. Lin Moyu revealed a look of surprise. He had seen similar monsters in the data, but wasn't sure. 62. The detection skill flew out. Wind Thunder Algae Cluster, Lord Level Boss. Level 78. Strength 600,000. Agility 500,000. Spirit 500,000. Constitution 1 million. Skills: Entanglement, Lightning Chain. Traits: Physical damage reduction 50%, Lightning Element Immunity, Life Force Enhancement, Recovery Enhancement. As expected, it's a rare plant-type boss, and it has a symbiotic relationship with the flying fish monster. Their skills can complement each other. Lin Mo thought in his mind, the result of the detection skill was completely consistent with the information he had seen. This type of monster is not numerous, very rare. And they often act together with groups of flying fish monsters. With its existence, the threat of the flying fish monster group will greatly increase. Plant-type Lord Level Boss has the characteristics of Plant-type Boss. Possesses higher constitution attributes among the same level. Moreover, Life Force Enhancement and Recovery Enhancement are also present. Once entangled by its vines, it is not easy to break free. It poses a great threat to professionals. However, similarly, if professionals encounter the Wind Thunder Algae Cluster, they will try every means to kill it. The algae on its body surface are also known as thunder algae. Thunder algae is a very rare material. Thunder algae, after being formulated into lightning potions by pharmacists, can permanently increase lightning element immunity. Since I've encountered it, then I won't be polite. Lin Mo was tempted when he saw the information. Things that can permanently increase elemental immunity have very high value. Even if he doesn't need it, he can trade it for something else. The Wind Thunder Algae Cluster, which was attacking crazily, suddenly stopped moving, and a layer of white bones enveloped it. Chapter 466. Finally tearing off the mask. The professionals who were being besieged suddenly discovered that the tentacles of the Wind Thunder Algae Cluster were not moving, and a layer of white substance had appeared on them. For a time, their pressure was greatly reduced. The leading professionals roared, "Seize the opportunity, counterattack." They began to launch a fierce attack on the flying fish monsters. At the same time, the flying fish monsters sensed that the Wind Thunder Algae Cluster was under attack, and a large number of flying fish monsters plunged into the sea to find trouble for Lin Mo. This further reduced their pressure. The professionals counterattacked with all their strength, and 3 professionals above level 80 besieged the flying fish lord with all their strength. Even for them, and level 80 flying fish lord required their full effort to fight. These professionals came from the same force and wore the same attire. They were able to persist for so long under the siege of thousands of flying fish monsters and the Wind Thunder Algae Cluster, their combat power was already not weak. Now that there was no harassment from the Wind Thunder Algae Cluster, their combat power exploded completely. Flying fish were killed and fell one after another. The flying fish lord unleashed skills, lightning roared. Under the command of the Lord, all the flying fish shuttled back and forth. Their bodies were the most powerful weapons. The battle between the two sides suddenly entered a heated stage. The flying fish lord seemed a little anxious, constantly making sharp calls. The professionals who were besieging the flying fish lord suddenly realized something and shouted, "Not good, someone is killing the Wind Thunder Algae Cluster. Third team, go down and take a look." Okay, several people immediately responded. They ignored the flying fish monsters and flew directly downward. Just as they were about to rush into the water, Lin Mo flew out of the water. In Lin Mo's hand was the huge corpse of the Wind Thunder Algae Cluster. In just a few minutes, the Wind Thunder Algae Cluster was easily killed by Lin Mo. At this time, the flying fish lord let out a scream, turned around and left with lightning. All the flying fish also fled into the distance in an instant. Their speed was so fast that they disappeared in the blink of an eye. The wind thunder algae cluster was killed, and it realized the danger. The instinct to survive made it flee without looking back. Lin Mo sighed softly in his heart, it escaped really fast. Although he had the opportunity to stop it, it was not necessary. Don't chase. The leader roared, his attention turned to Lin Mo. The goal of their trip was not the flying fish monsters, but the wind thunder algae cluster in Lin Mo's hands. The leader stared at Lin Mo with a gloomy gaze, with a hint of surprise. Level 52. It seems he has hidden his level. He couldn't believe that someone at level 52 could kill the wind thunder algae cluster. Moreover, how could someone at level 52 enter the lower level space? However, Lin Mo was able to kill the wind thunder algae cluster. He was still somewhat afraid of Lin Mo's strength. Seeing that there was no one else around, he was not sure if Lin Mo's companions were hiding underwater. He whispered a few words to his teammates, then stared at Lin Mo with fierce eyes. Divine Summer Person, why did you steal our boss? Lin Mo recognized that these people were from the Holy See. The clothes of the Holy See were quite special and easy to identify. The relationship between the Holy See and the Divine Summer Empire could only be considered ordinary, neither good nor bad. There were usually not too many conflicts, but there had never been much interaction. Lin Mo didn't like his eyes. I thought you were under siege, so I kindly helped. Although Lin Mo was telling the truth, he obviously didn't believe it. Divine Summer Person, we are a team from the Holy See. My name is Kraid, and we came here to hunt the wind thunder algae cluster. Since you were acting out of kindness, let's forget about it. As long as you return the wind thunder algae cluster to us, we won't blame you, and you can also gain the friendship of our Holy See. When he said these words, he had a high and mighty aura, as if he had Lin Mo in his grasp. Lin Mo was suddenly amused by his words. On what basis? Kraid's voice gradually lowered. Divine Summer Person, we discovered the boss first, you shouldn't have acted. Return the wind thunder algae cluster to us. If he hadn't said those words at the beginning, Lin Mo might have been kind enough to share some thunder algae with them. But now, Lin Mo's voice also became increasingly cold. So what? If I hadn't acted, you wouldn't have been able to defeat the flying fish group and the wind thunder algae cluster, and you might have died in the end. You should be grateful to me, grateful that I saved you. At this time, someone whispered a few words in Kraid's ear, and Kraid nodded slightly. Divine Summer Person, we have made full preparations, and we are determined to win this time. Now I will give you one last chance. Give us the wind thunder algae cluster, and I can decide to give you 1/10. Otherwise, the meaning of threat was already very obvious. While speaking, some of his teammates had already made preparations without showing any signs. 63. Lin Mo said, otherwise what? Kill me. Kraid gripped the knight's sword in his hand, and the shield in his other hand also began to glow faintly. He was a unique professional of the Holy Supervision Church, a holy crusader. Combining the advantages of knights and warriors, he possessed both the super high defense of a knight and the attack power of a warrior. In the eyes of many, the Holy Crusader was a near-perfect profession. His expression was solemn, and his voice was like thunder. Hand over the wind thunder algae cluster, otherwise, you won't be able to leave. As soon as he finished speaking, more than 50 of his men immediately flew over and surrounded Lin Mo tightly. Lin Mo was completely unaware, letting them surround him. He found it a little funny in his heart. Where did these people get their confidence, as if they could definitely defeat him? He was indeed kind-hearted in saving people, and he didn't even think about snatching their boss. If they had discussed it nicely from the beginning, said some good words, and thanked him, he might have been a good person and given them half of it, which wouldn't have been a big problem. After all, his lightning element immunity had reached 80%, already touching the upper limit. The thunder algae wasn't of much use to him. But now, not only were they not grateful, but they also blamed him for snatching their boss. Since that's the case, he'll just take it as if he snatched it. Not only snatch, but maybe even kill people. Lin Mo sneered, finally tearing off the mask. Huh. Kraid took a deep breath. Our Holy Supervision Church has no feud with your Divine Summer. I'll give you one last chance. Hand over the wind thunder algae cluster, and I'll let you leave. As he spoke, his eyes inconspicuously swept around. Lin Mo found it amusing. Don't bother looking, I have no helpers. Have you ever thought about it? Since I can kill the wind thunder algae cluster alone, then do you think I can kill all of you by myself? Lin Mo had killed people, and he had killed quite a few. But if it wasn't necessary, he wouldn't do it, and once he did, he would never leave anyone alive. At this moment, a murderous aura rolled out from the domain god stone, soaring into the sky like a black pillar of smoke. Even the lightning in the wind thunder sea retreated. Cred's expression changed drastically. He realized he had misunderstood something. He always thought that Lin Mo had helpers hiding underwater. But he hadn't considered, if Lin Mo really did it alone, how powerful Lin Mo would be. Now that he thought about it, Cred broke out in a cold sweat. Feeling the murderous aura rising from Lin Mo, he instinctively shivered. "Run," he roared, turning around to leave. It was too late. He saw a layer of bones appearing on everyone's body, including himself. In that instant, he couldn't move. Except for his brain and eyes, everything else was bound. Vast energy flowed through his body. As a holy crusader, he possessed skills that could break the bonds. His whole body was glowing, and it wouldn't take a second to break the bonds. Not only him, but other professionals were also doing the same. Breaking the bonds wasn't difficult, the difficulty lay in what followed. In less than a second, his life or death could be decided. A red light flashed, and he saw red swords with shackles appearing above everyone's heads. Everything slowed down. Then, countless skeletons appeared in the air. Skeletons were everywhere around him, each with a ferocious and terrifying face. These skeletons were stepping on halos. He didn't know when, but raging flames ignited on his body, a layer of ice appeared on his skin, and hundreds of lightning bolts fell on his head. Then, he personally saw the skeletons swinging axes at him, the axes glowing red. Skill: Super Limit Defense. Although he couldn't move, Cred still used his strongest defensive skill at the last moment. Super Limit Defense was an upgraded version of the Knight's Limit Defense, which could only be mastered after level 80. Super Limit Defense could last for 60 seconds. Countless combat experiences told Cred that he was invincible within these 60 seconds. Even those powerful bosses wouldn't be able to hurt him in the slightest during these 60 seconds. Not only him, but the other Holy Crusaders in the team also used Super Limit Defense. There were a full 3 Holy Crusaders above level 80 who came with him. In the Super Limit Defense state, he would not be affected by any negative status. Even the previous negative status disappeared at this moment. Chapter 467, Holy Church Sacrifice, Angel Holy Spirit. Skeleton berserkers snatched their axes and launched skills, slamming into Cred. With a loud bang, Cred only trembled slightly. His body emitted a faint light, blocking the attack. In the Super Limit Defense state, his defense reached its limit. Lin Mo wasn't surprised. After all, he was an level 80 Holy Crusader. How could he not have some life-saving measures? But so what, the ending wouldn't be affected in any way. Damn it, he's still going to die. Lin Mo looked at Cred, who had broken free from the shackles, and muttered, "Next, you should run away, right?" Cred had just broken free from the shackles when he heard screams in his ears. Someone had already died under the axes of the skeleton berserkers. Not everyone had the ability to break free from the shackles in an instant. Even if they broke free from the shackles, they still had to face the axes of the skeleton berserkers. Bang bang bang, continuous explosions sounded, and Cred was immediately attacked hundreds of times. Elemental explosions continuously detonated on his body. Then, sharp arrows pierced through the air, hitting his body and making metallic sounds. Tens of thousands of skeleton archmages and tens of thousands of skeleton marksmen launched attacks at the same time. The frequency of the attacks was absolutely terrifying. The explosions continued, and screams rang out again. Another person died. Cred originally wanted to rush over and fight Lin Mo to the death. But looking at the dense skeletons and hearing the screams of his companions, Cred knew he had no chance. Run. Without thinking, he activated the charge skill, wanting to knock the skeletons away and escape. Not only him, but the other 2 Holy Crusaders above level 80 were also doing the same. Their bodies were emitting brilliant light, rushing out of the skeleton crowd crazily. They didn't even know where they were rushing, they only knew they had to break out of the encirclement. But no matter how they broke through, there were skeletons everywhere, countless skeletons. The skeleton berserkers' attacks were ineffective, so they simply stopped attacking and started blocking them, not letting them leave. The 3 of them desperately rushed out, knocking away one skeleton after another. But there were too many skeletons. A full 30,000 skeletons occupied a large area of the sky. No matter how they rushed, they couldn't get out. Time passed second by second, and Cred's heart grew more and more desperate. 64. There wasn't a shred of hope. The screams of his comrades echoed incessantly in his ears. One comrade after another was killed. He could see people constantly leaving the team. In this situation, leaving the team meant death. Finally, a minute passed. The light on his body completely disappeared. Skill: Extreme Defense. Without the ultimate skill of super extreme defense, he had to settle for extreme defense. Although it could also greatly enhance defense, it was not invincible. Moreover, the duration was only 30 seconds, and it would decrease when attacked. His movements all fell into Lin Mo's eyes. Just as his extreme defense was activated, the skeleton berserker's attack was launched abruptly. Elemental explosions and sharp arrows also arrived in response. The light of extreme defense only lasted for 2 seconds before extinguishing instantly. He looked back at Lin Mo and found that the efforts of the previous minute had only allowed him to fly less than 100 meters. Not only him, but the other 3 crusaders were also in the same situation. The 3 unfortunate brothers were no better off than each other. Skill: Group Defense. Creed activated the last skill that could provide comprehensive defense. A shield appeared, pushing away the skeleton berserker beside him, allowing him a chance to breathe. Other skills were useless, facing attacks coming from all directions. Other defense skills were too one-sided. But he knew very well that the group defense skill could only last a few seconds at most. Creed seemed to have made up his mind, kneeling in the air with his shield in front of him, holding his long sword high. Crusader Sacrifice. His eyes were full of piety, and a beam of pure white light shot straight into the sky. The other 2 crusaders also knelt in the air, holding their long swords high, in the exact same posture as Creed. They shouted in unison, "Crusader Sacrifice." 3 beams of pure white light shot into the sky, merging into one in the air. Under the pure white light, the 3 seemed to have entered a strange state. All attacks were blocked, and skeletons could hardly approach. Sacrifice. Is it the same skill as the Abyss Demons? He had personally experienced the sacrifices of Abyss Demons several times, which eventually summoned powerful demons. He wondered what the sacrifice of these 3 people would be like. He vaguely felt something was wrong and issued a new order. The screams became even more urgent, and in the blink of an eye, except for Creed and the other 2, the rest of the Holy Supervision Church were killed. The pure white light merged by the 3 illuminated the Stormwind Sea within 100 miles. In this white light, the wind stopped and the thunder ceased. Large swaths of rosy clouds fell from the sky. Then the 3 shouted in unison, "We respectfully request the descent of the divine." A phantom appeared in the white light, a female silhouette. The phantom had a pair of pure white wings behind it, neither demon nor dragon. The phantom gradually solidified, emitting a holy light. Lin Mo frowned slightly. Angel. Angels are one of the totems of the Holy Supervision Church. This sect believes in a god named Holy Overseer, calling the Holy Overseer the Supreme God. And angels are messengers under the Supreme God, also gods. As the angel transformed from a phantom into a physical entity, it materialized. The 3 crusaders began to slowly disappear, eventually merging into the angel. The angel slowly opened her eyes, her gaze like lightning falling on Lin Mo. "Heretic, you should be burned to death by the holy fire. Burn your sister." Lin Mo felt the divine aura on the other party and launched a detection spell. Angel Holy Spirit, pseudo-god level. Formed by the beliefs of generations of believers of the Holy Supervision Church, summoned by sacrificing life, possesses the strength of a pseudo-god level, can exist for 5 minutes. Fortunately, it's just a pseudo-god level. He had killed the suppressed demon king and the dying, slumbering god of poison. This level 90 pseudo-god, even if it is stronger than the flame demon king back then, would not be much stronger. Yan Guangsheng said that all pseudo-gods are level 90, and there are no other levels. Also level 90, there is a world of difference between pseudo-god and god level. If a level 90 god level powerhouse was summoned, Lin Mo would turn around and run without saying a word. As for now, Lin Mo took a deep breath. Then let's fight. There are still 7 solidified fire god crystals, which should be enough. If it's not enough, there's still the god of poison's blood essence, and the godhead. Request fresh flowers. If that doesn't work, I'll detonate the god of poison's corpse. I don't believe I can't kill you. Excited light shone in his eyes, and his fighting spirit surged. Lin Mo had many trump cards and was not afraid at all. The air rumbled, and murderous aura swept down, enveloping the newly formed angel Holy Spirit. The angel Holy Spirit trembled slightly under the impact of the murderous aura, obviously extremely uncomfortable. She slapped Lin Mo with a palm. Without using any skills, the sea surface suddenly collapsed, forming a huge vortex. Lin Mo was hit by a huge force and fell directly downwards. This palm was extremely powerful. Lin Mo didn't know what skill it was, but in any case, the undead army was seriously injured with one blow. He pointed his finger, and the bone prison was suddenly activated. This time, targeting a single target, the binding force of the bone prison was maximized. The Angel Holy Spirit's offensive was instantly interrupted, and Lin Mo took the opportunity to escape. The skeleton berserker had already taken the opportunity to rush over, surrounding the Angel Holy Spirit from all directions. The Angel Holy Spirit was over 50 meters tall, and the skeleton warriors were like ants in front of it. Now the ants were all over its body. The skeleton archmage and sharpshooters surrounded it from all directions, launching attacks non-stop. At this time, raging flames burned on the Angel Holy Spirit, and the holy fire soared into the sky. The bone prison shattered instantly. Large swaths of seawater were evaporated, and the air was filled with water vapor. The skeleton berserkers were all ignited and suffered severe damage. The Lich General was busy, frantically healing at the fastest speed. The back of Lin Mo's hand suddenly glowed, and the reinforcements skill was activated. At the same time, he pointed out a finger, and a curse fell. The next second, the curse was burned by the holy fire. A little green light exploded. Skill, Poison Starburst. The Angel Holy Spirit's pure white flames suddenly turned into a faint green fire, very similar to the Abyss Fire. The soul flame in Lin Mo's left palm flickered. 65. Holding the solidified fire god's essence blood in his right hand, he summoned an elemental lich. Upon Lin Mo's command, the skeleton berserkers simultaneously unleashed their skills. Elemental explosions and arrows detonated on the angelic saint spirit at the same time. The angelic saint spirit twisted all over, clearly in great pain. In the enhanced state, the attacks of the undead legion and the damage from the soul flames could wound it. The flames that originally burned on its body had almost been extinguished. Holy fire! The angelic saint spirit murmured softly, and a raging holy fire ignited on its body once more. With a flap of its wings, the flames scattered in all directions, instantly igniting the heavens and the earth, enveloping all the skeletons within. The entire undead legion was burning fiercely, without exception. Even Lin Mo was ignited, engulfed by the flames. The holy fire's destructive power was immense. The angelic saint spirit's holy fire wasn't true fire. Rather, it was a combination of fire and light elements, possessing immense destructive power. Lin Mo felt that the angelic saint spirit's power was slightly stronger than the suppressed flame demon lord. At this moment, the flame lich, with its divine aura fluctuating and extremely unstable, flew out, lunging towards the angelic saint spirit. The angelic saint spirit, filled with the hatred of Clyde and the others towards Lin Mo, focused all its attention on Lin Mo, ignoring the flame lich. All the skeleton berserkers simultaneously disengaged from the angelic saint spirit, quickly moving away. Boom! The angelic saint spirit's scream erupted along with the flames. Chapter 468. Poisonous Lich, invincible even without talent. One corpse after another was thrown over. These were all members of the Holy Supervision Church who had been killed. Their corpses weren't wasted, instead, they were turned into weapons to deal with the angelic saint spirit. Lin Mo detonated the corpses using the corpse explosion skill with his left hand, while holding a solidified piece of fire god's essence blood in his right hand. Flames raged as he began summoning an elemental lich once more. Lin Mo knew that a single self-detonation wouldn't be enough to kill the angelic saint spirit. A pseudo-god was stronger than the flame demon lord, who had traveled thousands of miles to deliver a kill on that day, and furthermore, it wasn't restricted here, allowing it to unleash its full power. Level 70+ professionals didn't have weak life force, and the power of corpse explosion was equally powerful after being amplified dozens of times. The shockwave from the explosion almost blew away the flames on the angelic saint spirit. Having been attacked continuously, the angelic saint spirit was clearly enraged. A great sword, formed from holy fire, appeared in its hand. Sword of Judgment. Once again, it murmured softly, and countless sword shadows appeared in the air, instantly enveloping thousands of skeleton berserkers. Within the sword light, the bodies of the skeleton berserkers burned one after another, rapidly melting away. Lin Mo knew that these skeleton berserkers had actually died once already. Due to the existence of the undying aura, they had recovered half of their life force after suffering a fatal injury. However, the subsequent continuous attacks still led them to their deaths. The super strong power ignored Lin Moyu's comprehensive connection talent, directly killing the skeleton berserkers. Lin Moyu wasn't surprised. His level was too low, and his skill levels weren't high enough. Although the skeletons had extremely strong attributes, that was after the amplification. Their essential life force wasn't strong, which led to them being instantly killed when faced with super strong attacks. Once an instant kill occurred, the effect of the comprehensive connection talent would disappear. He had already realized this point. This problem would naturally be resolved once his level increased. The angelic saint spirit's attack was very strong. The Sword of Judgment instantly killed thousands of skeleton berserkers. From the start of the battle until now, only 3 or 4 seconds had passed, and it had already entered a heated state. The angelic saint spirit once again raised the Sword of Judgment, and another 1,000 or so skeleton berserkers were killed under the sword light. On the angelic saint spirit's body, flames rolled and burned, making it difficult to distinguish between its own holy fire and the flames ignited by the flame lich. Amidst the myriad holy lights, another flame lich pounced onto the angelic saint spirit. In a thunderous roar, the second flame lich exploded. The angelic saint spirit screamed incessantly. One of its wings was blown off, and several parts of its body were blasted apart. The flame lich summoned using the solidified fire god's essence blood also possessed the power of a pseudo-god strike, enough to heavily injure the angelic saint spirit. However, Lin Moyu discovered that the flame lich's self-detonation wasn't affected by the enhanced troops skill. Otherwise, a single self-detonation would have been enough to instantly kill the angelic saint spirit. The angelic saint spirit once again ignited a soaring holy fire on its body. Within the holy fire, the toxins from the poison starburst were expelled, and the holy fire returned to its pure white appearance. The injuries suffered by the angelic saint spirit also rapidly recovered within the holy fire. Large amounts of seawater were evaporated, and water vapor filled the air, enveloping the surroundings and obscuring vision. Truly difficult to deal with. Lin Moyu could sense that although the angelic saint spirit had used the holy fire to heal its injuries and expel the poison, its aura was also weaker than before. Clearly, its power wasn't inexhaustible, and the previous attacks had also had some impact on it. Lin Moyu's killing intent grew even stronger in his heart, and a drop of dark green blood appeared on his palm. The essence blood of the poison god. Now that the poison god's corpse was in his hands, the essence blood was naturally also available. The poison god was a mid-level god, and the essence blood was fresh, containing even more powerful energy. Lin Moyu used the fresh essence blood to summon an elemental lich. An eerie green light dyed the surroundings for 100 miles into a bizarre color. Terrifying toxicity mixed within the water vapor, constantly spreading out. A poisonous elemental lich, emitting green light all over its body and standing about 1 meter tall, appeared before Lin Moyu. Its appearance replaced the flame lich. A dark green halo appeared beneath the feet of all the skeletons. Poison aura. Imbues all members of the Undead Legion with a fiery aura, dealing 10 points of strength damage per second to all enemies within a 1,000-meter radius, stackable infinitely. At first glance, this aura seemed to have no highlights, but upon closer inspection, it was extremely powerful. 10 points of damage per second was pitifully weak, practically negligible. The most crucial aspect was the last characteristic, infinite stacking. Lin Moyu now possessed a full 30,720 skeletons, and under the effect of infinite stacking, it could deal over 300,000 damage per second to all targets within range. Professionals of the same level simply couldn't withstand it for long in the face of this aura. If the number of skeletons continued to increase, the damage would also increase significantly. For Lin Moyu, the number of enemies had never mattered. Whether it was the Undead Legion or corpse explosion, Lin Moyu had never feared being surrounded. Now with this skill, weak enemies would truly die no matter how many came. Previously, the combat capabilities of both the skeletons and the skills mostly relied on the comprehensive enhancement talent. Only the appearance of this aura didn't rely on the comprehensive enhancement talent. It could be said that even without the comprehensive enhancement talent, Lin Moyu would still be invincible at the same level, and even challenging enemies 10 levels higher wouldn't be a problem. The angelic saint spirit, who had just purged the toxins, once again turned into a green person. Lin Moyu looked at the poisonous lich that had appeared before him, and even he had a creepy feeling. It wasn't that the poisonous lich was scary, on the contrary, the poisonous lich was still somewhat cute and adorable. It was just the power on its body. The chaotic and disordered power was exploding, far surpassing the flame lich summoned using the solidified fire god's essence blood. 66. Retreat. Lin Moyu gave a low shout, retreating rapidly, using his fastest speed. All the skeletons also retreated instantly, moving away. The poisonous lich appeared before the angelic spirit as if teleporting. Just 2 seconds later, the poisonous lich exploded silently. Unlike the explosive and earth-shattering fire of the flame lich's self-destruction. When the poisonous lich self-destructed, there was no sound. It simply turned into a cloud of green poisonous gas, covering an area of 10 kilometers. Lin Moyu watched the rapidly expanding range of the poisonous gas, his expression changed drastically, and he fled even faster. Lich self-destruction doesn't distinguish between friend and foe, and Lin Moyu didn't want to become a professional killed by his own skills. Fortunately, he reacted quickly and escaped just 1 step ahead of the poisonous gas. Several skeletons were not so lucky, directly engulfed by the poisonous gas, and then corroded and melted in the poisonous gas. The damage was too great, and the comprehensive connection talent was still useless. Lin Moyu felt a burst of fear. The blood essence of a middle god is actually so powerful. Compared to the solidified blood essence of the god of fire, this poisonous lich was many times stronger. Within the green poisonous gas, there was no sound, terrifyingly quiet. The holy fire of the angelic spirit had long been submerged by the poisonous gas, completely invisible. Time passed second by second. Killed angelic spirit, experience plus ***. When the information popped up, Lin Moyu breathed a long sigh of relief. The angelic spirit was finally dead. He gained a full 90 billion experience points. From the experience, the angelic spirit and the flame demon king belonged to the same level. The flame demon king was indeed one of the weakest demon kings, only equivalent to a pseudo-god. Perhaps the flame demon king was a little stronger, but it was definitely limited. The experience increased by a large amount, a full 30% more. Equivalent to killing more than 20,000 ordinary level 70 monsters. But the skeleton berserkers lost more than 3,000. Lin Moyu felt that he had lost out. If there was such an opportunity in the future, he would definitely go to the Holy See to seek justice. Regardless of who was right or wrong, what mattered was who had the bigger fist, and justice resided with the one with the bigger fist. In the human world, within the Holy See, an angelic statue was shining brightly. The church's higher-ups were alarmed when the statue lit up, and many people rushed over. They knew that the angelic spirit had been summoned by the holy army sacrificing themselves. They must have encountered an extremely difficult enemy, otherwise they wouldn't have done this. The order was immediately passed down to find out who was sacrificing. Soon, the answer was obtained, with a total of 2.93 sacrificers. One of them was Creed. Everyone's expression changed drastically upon hearing this news. Creed was the Holy See's holy son, the next pope. Unexpectedly, he had encountered an accident. The Holy See immediately began the resurrection ceremony. Creed had a soul mark planted on him, so he could be resurrected even if he died. Just as they were busy, suddenly a green light descended from the sky and landed on the angelic statue. The angelic statue turned green and collapsed with a bang. Everyone present was shocked. The poisonous lich's toxin descended upon the Holy See along the passage of time and space, destroying the angelic statue. Originally, even if the angelic spirit died in battle, as long as the angelic statue was still there, it could be summoned again after a period of time. But now, the angelic statue had been destroyed. It was no longer possible to continue summoning the angelic spirit. For the Holy See, this was an unbearable loss. In the Holy See, there were only 2 such angelic statues. In the main hall, there were originally 2 angelic statues and 1 God King statue. Now, one of the angelic statues had been completely shattered. It was unknown how many years it would take to rebuild it. Chapter 469. Let others do the work of seeking death. Lin Moyu did not know what happened in the Holy See. In front of him, a poisonous lich emitting a green light was spinning around. After the self-destruction, the poisonous lich returned to its corresponding level. Lin Moyu used the blood essence of the god of poison, a middle god. The blood essence contained the terrifying power of the god of poison. The angelic spirit had long been corroded and melted by the self-destructive poison, leaving nothing behind. Even its main body, the statue far away in the Holy See, was destroyed by the poison along the space-time channel. Lin Moyu looked at the spinning poisonous lich, marveling at the power of the god of poison. A drop of its blood essence could kill a pseudo-god, but such a powerful god of poison was eventually killed by someone else. What exactly happened back then? The battle ended, and the wind and thunder sea began to recover rapidly. After cleaning up the wind and thunder algae clusters and extracting the thunder algae from them, Lin Moyu continued to fly towards the wind and thunder continent. Meeting Creed and the others was just an accident. For Lin Moyu, it was just a delay, and in the blink of an eye, Lin Moyu had put this matter behind him. This time, he slowed down a bit. While flying, Lin Moyu simultaneously summoned the skeleton berserkers, replenishing the losses from just now. Dense thunder light fell on Lin Moyu. In the later stages, in addition to the thunder light, the wind also became fierce. The wind was like a knife, cooperating with the thunder light, constantly falling on his body. The gale was like a knife, and the lightning was like a sword. This was also the origin of the name Wind and Thunder Sea. The bone armor emitted a strong light, constantly being shattered. Lin Moyu continued to replenish it at first, but later he became too lazy to care. Anyway, a large group of skeleton comrades helped to share the damage, enough for him to withstand it until he reached the Wind and Thunder continent. He would summon them again at that time and have the Lich General heal them. The next journey was relatively smooth. After 20 minutes, Lin Moyu crossed the Wind and Thunder Sea and officially entered the Wind and Thunder continent. He landed on a cliff on the coast, and the wind and thunder had disappeared. He summoned the Undead Legion and had the Lich General heal them. At the same time, Lin Moyu sized up the Wind and Thunder continent. If he had to rank the danger levels of the lower space, the Divine Dragon continent in the east was the safest, the Wild continent in the south and the Wind and Thunder continent in the north were about the same. The Meteorite continent in the west was the most dangerous. Among them, the Divine Dragon continent was basically a human stronghold, and the number of people active here was the largest. In the Wind and Thunder continent, the number of humans decreased sharply, while the number of demons and dragons increased. The three races were still the same, meeting each other meant an endless battle. It had been like this for many years, never changing. The hatred between races had been engraved into the bone marrow, almost impossible to change. 67. Lin Moyu had seen it in the data and was prepared for a series of battles. He took out the map and looked at it. He was currently about 10,000 kilometers away from the Gallowin Thunder Valley. At his current speed, it would take at least 4 hours to arrive. However, this was assuming there were no delays along the way, and he couldn't say exactly how long it would take. The Undead Legion had fully recovered, and the lost skeleton berserkers had been replenished. Lin Moyu moved and shot towards the Gallowin Thunder Valley. Compared to when he first arrived in the lower space, Lin Moyu was much bolder now. When he saw monsters above level 80 at that time, Lin Moyu instinctively retreated first, and fought only when he couldn't avoid it. But now, Lin Moyu already understood his strength. As long as he didn't encounter a perverted world-class boss like the giant leaf mother tree, he wasn't afraid. In the Abyss world, Mina knelt respectfully before the succubus queen. Great Queen, Lin Moyu has indeed appeared in the lower space. She recounted her encounter with Lin Moyu. She didn't conceal her fleeing without a fight. In her opinion, it was normal to run away and save her life if she couldn't beat Lin Moyu. For the sake of her life, she didn't care about face. The succubus queen did not blame her, but closed her eyes and showed a thoughtful look. Lin Moyu is only level 52, yet he can go to the lower space. The last time you saw Lin Moyu was in the core area of the upper space. It seems that Lin Moyu has met that one. Only that one has the ability to send Lin Moyu to the lower space. Mina raised her head, not understanding who that one was in the succubus queen's mouth. But it seemed like a very terrible existence. She knew very well that even the succubus queen did not have the ability to send people below level 70 into the lower space. The succubus queen smiled playfully. In that case, that one must have made some kind of deal with Lin Moyu. But their deal is their deal, and it has nothing to do with me. Now that Lin Moyu has appeared in the lower space, that is our best opportunity. Mina, go tell the Black Sky Demon King that Lin Moyu has gone to the lower space, and now is the best time to kill him. If he wants to send someone to the lower space, you can help guide the way. You should have left a mark on Lin Moyu, right? Mina immediately replied, I did. In addition to being good at charming people and controlling souls, the succubus clan has another ability, which is to leave marks silently. Mina's level is as high as 83, and Lin Moyu can't detect the mark she left at all. Mina followed the succubus queen's instructions to find the Black Sky Demon King. After she left, the succubus queen let out a seductive laugh. I can't disobey the demon emperor's order, and I still have to do what I should do. But let that guy Black Sky do the work of sending him to his death, I'll just watch the show. With her laughter, the abyssal flames in the succubus queen's palace continued to flicker, revealing a strange aura. After entering the Gallowin Thunder continent, Lin Moyu first saw the thunder trees. The two most common plants in this continent. One is the wind flower, and the other is the thunder tree. The thunder tree will attract lightning, and each thunder tree will be struck by lightning from time to time. Every time it receives 1,000 lightning strikes, the thunder tree will grow taller. After being struck by lightning 1,000 times, the thunder tree becomes a platinum-grade material. The more times it is struck by lightning, the better the quality of the material. After being struck by lightning 100,000 times, the thunder tree becomes a quasi-legendary material. Legend has it that after being struck by lightning millions of times, the thunder tree becomes a legendary material. But this is just a legend, and no one has ever seen it. Millions of lightning strikes are terrifying to even think about. Although the thunder tree is a good material, it is also an extremely dangerous existence. It is not a normal tree, but a plant-type monster. And they exist in groups. If you don't provoke them, it's fine, but if you provoke them, they will attack in groups, which is quite terrifying. Lin Moyu saw the thunder trees. The entire mountain range was full of thunder trees, and the number was countless. He saw a lot of lightning falling on the thunder trees with his own eyes, and the whole mountain lit up, dazzling. Lin Moyu flew high in the air, without any intention of provoking them. Now his goal is Thunder Burial Canyon. Suddenly, several black spots appeared in front of him. The black spots traveled through the thunderlight and quickly magnified in his sight. Dragon Clan Warship. Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed slightly. He didn't expect to encounter a Dragon Clan warship here. But the appearance of the Dragon Clan warship was a bit strange. It seemed to be coming for him. Lin Moyu thought, did the Dragon Clan discover him early on? 8 Dragon Clan warships rushed straight towards Lin Moyu. They discovered Lin Moyu as soon as Lin Moyu arrived at the Gallowin Thunder Valley. It was only because the Dragon Clan aura on Lin Moyu was too strong. This aura would not dissipate for many years, and would continue to accumulate. The richness of the Dragon Clan aura on Lin Moyu showed that he had killed at least tens of thousands of Dragon Clan members, or even more. In the eyes of the Dragon Clan, Lin Moyu was like a huge fireball in the dark night, very conspicuous. After a slight surprise, Lin Moyu understood why. When he first entered the primordial battlefield, after killing the first Dragon Clan member, he would easily be discovered by the Dragon Clan. Now that he thought about it, it was because of this that he had been targeted by the Dragon Clan long ago. Lin Moyu simply stopped and waited for them to come over. The 8 Dragon Clan warships were a little different from the ones he had seen before. The warships were about 1/3 smaller, faster, and seemed to be stronger. If the Dragon Clan warships he had seen before were primary, then these should be advanced. The warship was very fast, and it was still tens of thousands of meters away when he first saw it. In the blink of an eye, it flew over most of the distance. Very fast, faster than me. Lin Moyu made an estimate in his heart. The speed of these warships exceeded 2,000 meters per second, which was much faster than Lin Moyu. In this way, Lin Moyu would not be able to escape unless he landed on the ground. When there were still more than 3,000 meters away, the 8 Dragon Clan warships lit up at the same time. 8 huge energy beams shot towards Lin Moyu. Chapter 470 Dragon Clan's War Golem. The formation on the Dragon Clan warship was activated, the magic crystal shone brightly, and a powerful attack was launched. Lin Moyu reacted extremely quickly, and his wings vibrated to quickly avoid it. The 8 Dragon Clan warships continued to launch attacks while approaching. It's a pity that Lin Moyu was very flexible, and they were difficult to hit. Originally, the role of the warship was not to kill moving targets, the greater role of the warship was in attacking cities. When attacking fixed targets, the role of the warship is very large. 68. But for Lin Moyu, who was so agile, these small targets were like using an anti-aircraft gun to shoot mosquitoes, almost impossible to hit. Lin Moyu's sixth sense was extremely sharp, his mental power spreading outwards, giving him a premonition of attacks. Quickly dodging the attacks, he rapidly approached the Dragon Clan warship. His fingers slightly raised, but then retracted. Lin Moyu saw the massive number of thunder trees in the mountains below. If he cast a curse this time, he estimated that countless thunder trees would come looking for trouble for him. Although he wasn't particularly afraid, Lin Moyu had experience, attracting the small ones would bring the old ones. If he ended up attracting a world-class boss thunder tree, it would be too troublesome. The curse couldn't be used, nor could the poisonous starburst. Area of effect skills were not suitable. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and then suddenly rose sharply, quickly reaching an altitude of 2,000 meters. The Dragon Clan warship also rose with Lin Moyu, chasing after him. Although the curse of aging and poisonous starburst still couldn't be used at an altitude of 2,000 meters, skills like corpse explosion and the elemental lich's aura were no longer affected. Lin Moyu instantly released the undead legion and the elemental lich all at once. The flame lich was gone, replaced by the poison lich. In an instant, layers of halos appeared under the feet of all the skeletons. The 6 major halos alternated and flickered. 10,000 rays of lightning struck the Dragon Clan warship, the simultaneous firing of 10,000 lightning bolts creating an astonishing and magnificent aura. The Dragon Clan warship's shields deformed under the barrage. Layers of ice formed on the warship, slowing it down significantly. Moreover, the power of the halos penetrated the warship's protective shields, directly affecting the Dragon Clan soldiers on the warship. The poisonous halo was the same. With over 30,000 poisonous halos stacked on top of each other, they would inflict over 300,000 points of damage per second to the Dragon Clan warriors. This was like constantly receiving attacks of 300,000 power, once per second, which no one could withstand. The Dragon Clan healers on the warship began to heal frantically. The warship constantly counterattacked, the magic crystal operating at full power, launching a large number of attacks. The skeleton berserkers directly charged towards the attacks, most of which were dodged, and those that couldn't be dodged were simply tanked. The Dragon Clan warship's attacks were not powerful enough to instantly kill the skeleton berserkers, the all-round connection talent was enough to distribute the damage. The Grand Magisters and Marksmen took the lead, their addition making the Dragon Clan warship's shields precarious. The Dragon Clan soldiers in the warship rushed out one after another. They knew that the warship couldn't deal with the skeletons, so they could only take action themselves. They had not anticipated that this human would be so powerful. What was originally supposed to be a simple task had turned into a situation where they were being ganged up on. Lin Moyu saw teams of Dragon Clan soldiers rushing out. Here, they were all Dragon Clan war generals, each of them above level 70. Level 70 was the lowest level here. The thousands of Dragon Clan war generals rushing out of the warship made Lin Moyu feel something was wrong. Strange, these Dragon Clan war generals seem a bit off. Lin Moyu had interacted with Dragon Clan war generals before and had also killed some. Those Dragon Clan war generals were very agile, with light in their eyes. But the Dragon Clan war generals in front of him were extremely dull, like puppets. Looking at their appearance, armor, and height, they were all identical. Apart from their different classes, there was no way to distinguish between them. Lin Moyu's thoughts raced, going through all his memories with the Dragon Clan in a second. The Dragon Clan he had encountered in the upper space of the ancient battlefield were all very agile, each of them a life form capable of independent thought. But later, the Dragon Clan he encountered in the meta battlefield began to feel a bit off. At the time, he felt something was wrong, the other party was extremely dull. But at the time, he was troubled by the problem of murderous aura and didn't think deeply about it. Now that he thought about it, that batch of Dragon Clan from the meta battlefield was very strange, very problematic. These ones in front of him seemed to be the same. A bold guess suddenly popped into Lin Moyu's mind. Could it be that the Dragon Clan has made some breakthrough and can mass-produce war puppets? If even level 70 Dragon Clan war generals can be mass-produced, it would be too scary. War puppets were not a new thing, they had appeared in historical records. The Dragon Clan had once used war puppets on the battlefield. However, the war puppets in the records were either very weak or few in number. But now, it seemed different. After 1,000 years of seclusion, the Dragon Clan seemed to have made a breakthrough. The Dragon Clan war generals had already engaged the skeleton berserkers. Lin Moyu didn't intervene, he observed carefully. Gradually, he discovered some clues. The fighting style of these Dragon Clan war generals was somewhat singular, and their combat methods were also slightly dull. Apart from the power of their skills, the strength, speed, and physique were comparable to those of Dragon Clan war generals, but their actual combat power was still different. To verify his guess, Lin Moyu simultaneously used detection. Dragon Clan Lancer, Ordinary War General. Level: 70. Strength: 250,000. Agility: 180,000. Spirit: 20,000. Constitution: 200,000. Skill: Whirlwind Sweep. Traits: Enhanced Defense, Enhanced Dragon Clan Scales, Enhanced Curse Resistance. A level 70 Ordinary Dragon Clan War General with a total attribute of 650,000 was not strong at all. This was quite consistent with Lin Moyu's understanding of the Dragon Clan. The Dragon Clan could be divided into 3 levels according to bloodline hierarchy: Ordinary, Advanced, and Ancestral Reversion. The attributes of Ordinary Dragon Clan were slightly stronger than those of rare class holders among humans, but not as good as Legendary class holders. Advanced Dragon Clan surpassed Legendary class holders. Even Advanced Legendary class holders were slightly inferior to Advanced Dragon Clan in terms of pure attributes. And the Ancestral Reversion level in the Dragon Clan was comparable to several ceiling classes of the human race. Among the 3 races, demons were the strongest in terms of attributes, followed by the Dragon Clan, and humans were the weakest. But combat power could not be simply divided by attributes, there were also skills and coordination. The human race was not weak at all among the 3 races, especially after level 70, when humans unlocked the ability to fly, they could even be said to have surpassed the other 2 races. But when Lin Moyu saw this attribute, he felt something was wrong. The total attribute is correct, but why is this spirit so weak? Lin Moyu thought, a level 70 Dragon Clan War General could not possibly have only 20,000 spirit. This was not normal. Then Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. He saw that there were still some Dragon Clan present on the Dragon Clan warship. These Dragon Clan were obviously different, their eyes were agile, and the expressions on their faces were extremely rich. They saw that the Dragon Clan War General's team was being slaughtered by the skeleton berserkers without any power to resist, and they all showed anxious expressions. Looking at the Dragon Clan War Generals who were fighting, knowing that they couldn't win, their expressions didn't change at all, and they were still fighting, selflessly. Lin Moyu was now 70% certain that these Dragon Clan War Generals were not real Dragon Clan, but war puppets. It's just that these war puppets were somewhat special, and even detection was deceived. Lin Moyu wanted to figure out what was going on. Within the short minute that Lin Moyu was thinking, the Dragon Clan's 1,000 war generals had been slaughtered. The Dragon Clan on the warship clearly showed panic. 69. They opened their mouths wide, yelling loudly. Lin Moyu guessed they were probably shouting to run away. Sure enough, the Dragon Race warships turned around one after another, flying towards the distance. Lin Moyu watched them leave without chasing after them. The Dragon Race warships were extremely fast. With Lin Moyu's current speed, he couldn't catch up even if he wanted to. The direction is noted. It's not the same direction as Wind and Thunder Canyon. First, go to Burial Thunder Canyon, and then figure this out when I return. He muttered in a low voice, put away the Undead Legion, and flew towards the distance. The Dragon Race's matter needed to be clarified, but there was no rush. First, go to Wind and Thunder Canyon to get what Antares wanted. Chapter 471. Just wanting to play, not risking life. Lin Moyu noted the direction and let the Dragon Race warships leave. He continued towards the direction of Burial Thunder Canyon. Antares had said that it wouldn't be good to enter Burial Thunder Canyon after level 80. Lin Moyu had reason to believe that entering Burial Thunder Canyon should be done at the lowest level possible. Lin Moyu was very good at analyzing problems by piecing together fragments of information. In the blink of an eye, he had already crossed this mountain range. Looking down from the air, the depth of this mountain range was as much as 1,000 kilometers, like a giant dragon entrenched on the earth. It was covered with thunder trees. There were both newly grown and ancient ones. If you provoke one of them, you might encounter a collective attack. When Lin Moyu crossed the mountain range, he happened to see a shocking thunderbolt fall into the mountains. At that time, the entire mountain range was glowing. An astonishing aura rose from the mountain range, making Lin Moyu feel frightened. At that moment, Lin Moyu almost felt that a god-level being had descended. The strength of the aura surpassed the pseudo-god-level angel Holy Spirit. However, Lin Moyu knew that the other party could not be a god-level being. It should be the limit of level 89. Although it was not yet god level, it gathered the power of countless thunder trees in this mountain range. Even if a real god-level powerhouse arrived, they might not be able to gain an advantage. As for pseudo-god level, there would be 10 deaths and no life. It really is hitting the small ones and attracting the old ones. No wonder so many good thunder trees have not been mined. After crossing the mountain range, Lin Moyu also breathed a sigh of relief. He was also afraid that if the thunder trees targeted him, it would be a headache. Fortunately, they didn't, and he was safe and sound. The sound of thunder gradually faded away, and a large amount of lightning was left far behind. There was no more lightning falling in front. Wind and Thunder Continent has many mountains, pools, and canyons. The terrain here is basically these three types. It is undulating with few flat lands. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew, and then a large number of petals appeared in front of him. These petals fluttered randomly in the air. Originally, there was no wind in the world, but as these petals flew, they brought up a lot of wind. Wind flowers, the second type of plant-based monster in Wind and Thunder Continent. Wind flowers are not on the ground, they are in the air. They fly around with the wind, making them elusive. According to the information, wind flowers can be encountered at any time except in the area where thunder trees are located. There is no danger in encountering thunder trees as long as you don't provoke them, but it is different when encountering wind flowers. If you don't provoke them, they will take the initiative to provoke you. Lin Moyu was already very careful, but he still ran into wind flowers head-on. There was no warning before the collision. These wind flowers flew extremely fast, even faster than Lin Moyu. Moreover, they were silent. It was too late when Lin Moyu discovered them. Then, a gale roared, and a large number of petals swept towards Lin Moyu. At the same time, bursts of floral fragrance began to permeate the air. Wind flowers are plant-based monsters and also good medicinal materials. When it attacks, the petals will emit a fragrance that will cause hallucinations, causing people to get lost in them. However, the hallucinatory and mind-bending floral fragrance was completely ineffective against Lin Moyu. The wind flowers hurricane crashed into Lin Moyu, and the bone armor shone brightly, blocking all the attacks. Lin Moyu's fingertips lit up with white light. The thunder tree couldn't be moved, but that didn't mean the wind flower couldn't be moved. According to the information provided by Feng Yiming, wind flowers generally move in small groups. There will be no boss inside. BOSS will only appear when a large number of wind flowers act together. Compared to thunder trees, dealing with wind flowers is much simpler. Skill: Bone Fangs. It had been a long time since he used this skill. Level 52 Bone Fangs, 3,120 fangs roared out, covering a large area. The petals flying in the air dodged to both sides at the same time, their speed was extremely fast, like teleportation. All the bone fangs missed. Lin Moyu was shocked, the speed is so fast. Then he tried a few more times, and it was still the same. The bone fangs could not hit at all. The information said that the wind flower was very fast, but he didn't expect it to be so fast. Use the detection spell on one of the petals. Wind flower. Level: 72. Strength: 100,000. Agility: 300,000. Spirit: 150,000. Constitution: 180,000. Skills: Hallucinatory floral fragrance, hurricane, pollen explosion. Characteristics: 70% wind element immunity, enhanced limit speed. The total attributes were only 730,000, which was not very high. However, the agility attribute alone accounted for 300,000, which had already given the wind flower a speed far exceeding that of monsters of the same level. In addition, it has the wind element attribute itself and the characteristic of enhanced limit speed. No wonder the speed is so fast. There were hundreds of wind flowers in front of him, and using soul flames was obviously impractical. Then I'll slow you down. Lin Moyu pointed his finger, and red light lit up the sky. Now there were no thunder trees on the ground, so he had no worries. 70. In the red light, Feng Hua's speed suddenly slowed down. Lin Mo smiled, the curse skill was extremely useful against ordinary monsters. These Feng Hua are now like slow motion, slowly drifting. Not to mention him, even a level 20 professional could accurately hit them. But the next second, he couldn't laugh anymore. Countless red small swords appeared in the air. There were more than 10,000 of them. Not only in the air, but also on the ground. The clouds dissipated, and a large number of dense Feng Hua appeared above his head. These Fenghua didn't know when they appeared, hiding in the clouds silently. Lin Mo didn't notice at all. And these Fenghua on the ground were hidden in the grass, and he couldn't find them at all. The curse was three-dimensional, covering a range of 12,600 meters. Lin Mo couldn't count how many Fenghua were enveloped. Ordinary Fenghua would be fine, he wouldn't be afraid of more. The key is that there are several Fenghua with special shapes and powerful auras, which are obviously Lord-level bosses. There was even a Fenghua slowly falling from the sky, with huge petals, exceeding 100 meters in diameter. Needless to say, it was a world-class boss. Lin Mo felt that he was locked on. The strong wind had already begun to howl, and a terrifying attack was imminent. I'll go. Lin Mo didn't even think about it, took out a random teleportation scroll, and activated it. Accompanied by a burst of light, the person had disappeared. The strong wind swept through where Lin Mo was, and the Fenghua stopped there, not knowing what happened. Hundreds of kilometers away, Lin Mo showed his figure. It was almost troublesome. Lin Mo muttered to himself, how could he have imagined that there would be so many Fenghua? He now understood why it was said in the information that Fenghua was more dangerous than the thunder tree. After all, the thunder tree is placed in the open. If you don't provoke it, it won't attack you. But Fenghua is hidden, and may come to you at any time. He thought there weren't many, but he only knew there were everywhere when he fought back. If he had been a second slower just now, it would have been difficult to leave. Being entangled by that level of world-class boss, the teleportation scroll would most likely fail. If they really fought, it wasn't that he couldn't really win, but it would definitely cost a lot. The top priority now is to first settle the matter of the burial Thunder Canyon, so that there will be no worries. When the time comes, he can have a good fight. It doesn't matter if the sky is dark and the earth is dark. If he really can't beat it, he can directly teleport to the abyss. He took out the map and looked at the direction. Compared to just now, it was a little further away from the burial Thunder Canyon. He adjusted his direction and rushed over again. This time, Lin Mo lowered his altitude, and was more focused, so as not to encounter Fenghua again. This time it was much smoother. He flew for a full half an hour, flew over 1,000 kilometers, and did not encounter Fenghua again. He did encounter a lot of thunder trees, but they were all small pieces of thunder trees, and they were not old, and they had not been struck by lightning many times. At most they could be regarded as platinum-level materials. Lin Mo didn't waste time on it, directly crossed it, without stopping. Soon, Lin Mo came to a canyon. Above the canyon, the strong wind howled, and visible whirlwinds were spinning in the air. The wind in the canyon was even stronger, and countless huge rocks were rolled up and flying in the air. According to the map, this is the Whirlwind Canyon. On both sides of the Whirlwind Canyon are the more dangerous thunder ponds. If you detour all the way, it will take almost 5,000 kilometers. It not only wastes time, but also has other dangers. Relatively speaking, it is most appropriate to pass through the Whirlwind Canyon. Lin Mo analyzed the situation in front of him. Looking towards both sides of the canyon, he could vaguely see lightning illuminating the sky. This is the thunder pond shown on the map. The thunder pond is like a crescent moon, and the Whirlwind Canyon is the sword that pierces this crescent moon. Moreover, the map clearly stated that there are world bosses in the thunder pond, as high as level 85, and there are 2 of them. Fighting one will attract the other. After thinking about it, Lin Mo decided to pass through the Whirlwind Canyon. He put on a layer of bone armor for himself, and the lightning undead wings vibrated slightly, carrying Lin Mo into it. Just as Lin Mo entered the Whirlwind Canyon, somewhere in the Wind and Thunder continent, a space-time channel appeared. A group of demons rushed out. Mina sensed it and pointed in the direction of the Whirlwind Canyon. I sensed it, he is there. Chapter 472 Look, there will be no chance in the future. Wind and Thunder continent, it is either wind or thunder, or wind and thunder intersect. This was a sentence at the beginning of the information at that time. Lin Mo had deeply experienced it at this time. Whirlwind Canyon, the wind is howling inside, and a large number of solid rocks are rolled up and spinning in the air. Not to mention rocks weighing hundreds of kilograms, even rocks weighing thousands or tens of thousands of kilograms can also be blown into the sky. Lin Mo was almost swept away by the whirlwind as soon as he entered the canyon. The lightning undead wings couldn't stabilize at all. Lin Mo had to land and switch to walking. The rocks in the canyon are extremely strong, and even if Lin Mo does his best, it is difficult to destroy them. But shortly after he entered the canyon, he saw rocks being torn apart by 2 whirlwinds, and finally divided into 2. This scene made Lin Mo extremely vigilant. In his eyes, the Whirlwind Canyon is very dangerous, but in the information, the danger level of the Whirlwind Canyon is only medium. The danger level of the Thunder Pond on both sides is marked as high. At the same time, the Burial Thunder Canyon is also marked as a high danger. This standard is based on professionals above level 70. In general, those that do not pose a threat to top professionals above level 80 are considered medium risk areas. Those that are enough to cause danger to top professionals are high risk areas. There is no world-class boss in the Whirlwind Canyon, the only boss is only a lord level, plus some ordinary monsters that are not too many. As long as you are careful of the whirlwinds inside, there will not be too much danger. Compared to the Thunder Pond on both sides, it is indeed much safer. Lin Mo cheered up and quickly traveled through the canyon, paying attention not only to the disordered and chaotic whirlwinds but also to the surroundings. On the ground that has been plowed over and over again by the whirlwind, there are some holes that are only the size of a fist. The monsters in the Whirlwind Canyon are hidden in the holes. When passing by the edge of the hole, the monsters hidden in it will come out and attack him. The monsters in the Whirlwind Canyon are called whirlwind lizards, with the appearance of lizards, slender in shape, and like snakes. The whirlwind lizard has powerful wind attributes, and its whole body is wrapped in whirlwinds, forming a natural defense. Moreover, their scales are also very strong, and the combination of the two greatly increases the defense. The whirlwind lizard is very hard, fortunately the attack is not particularly strong. For Lin Mo, it is not difficult to deal with the whirlwind lizard. 71. No matter how fast the whirlwind lizards were, Lin Mo didn't give them a chance to show their heads. The skeleton berserker always walked in front of Lin Mo, blocking every cave he encountered. The huge axe had become a shield at this time, blocking the cave tightly. The whirlwind lizards inside couldn't get out at all. The level 52 skeleton berserker, blessed by the Lich General, had its strength reach 410,000. Although it was still not as good as a level 70 boss, it was much stronger than a level 70 ordinary monster. Even a level 80 ordinary monster was not as good as the skeleton berserker in terms of pure strength attributes. Now that the cave was firmly blocked, no matter how the whirlwind lizards inside rammed, they couldn't break it open. Lin Mo would put away the skeleton berserker after moving away. By this time, the whirlwind lizards had already lost their target when they rushed out. In this way, Lin Mo only needed to specifically avoid the whirlwind, greatly reducing the difficulty. The medium difficulty Whirlwind Canyon became a flat road in front of Lin Mo. In just less than 2 hours, Lin Mo passed through the Whirlwind Canyon, which was a full 1,000 kilometers long. The canyon was like a sword, with a slightly narrow exit. Lin Mo left the Whirlwind Canyon and soared into the sky. The mere distance of 1,000 kilometers had cost him 2 hours. If he could fly, it wouldn't take half an hour. Boom! The world brightened, and lightning fell like raindrops. Lin Mo stood in the air and looked to both sides. Not far on both sides were thunder pools. Thunder pools were worlds of lightning, not only with lightning and thunder in the air. The ground was also an ocean of electric light. The so-called pool was not pool water at all, but electric plasma formed by lightning. The lightning was so concentrated that it melted the earth, like flowing water. Lin Mo had never seen such intense electric light. If there wasn't such a unique place as the Whirlwind Canyon, it would have been really difficult for him to pass through the Thunder Pool, let alone there were 2 world-class bosses in the Thunder Pool. Vaguely, Lin Mo saw teams of professionals fighting in the depths of the lightning. Those who could come to the Thunder Pool were at least top-tier level 85 professionals. Some had even reached level 88, becoming demigod-level existences. This was to ensure safety. When Lin Mo looked over, the other party seemed to have noticed Lin Mo as well. After confirming that Lin Mo was a human professional, they stopped paying attention. Lin Mo identified the direction and flew towards the Burial Thunder Canyon again. Mina was leading a group of demons, rushing towards Lin Mo's location at lightning speed. They were very fast, much faster than Lin Mo. Mina kept sensing Lin Mo's direction, and she also held a map in her hand. Looking at his direction, he should be going to the Burial Thunder Canyon. What is he doing there? Mina was very puzzled. A demon let out a cold laugh. Who cares what he's doing, we'll catch up with him and kill him anyway. Another demon said, that's right, what he wants to do is none of our business. Lord Demon King is being too cautious, sending our team to kill a level 52 human. Mina didn't speak, she was somewhat disdainful in her heart. This time, the team that came with her was an elite team under the Black Sky Demon King. The elite team consisted of 10 demons, each exceeding level 80, some good at melee combat, some good at ranged attacks, and some good at control. This kind of team composition was extremely rare among demons, and was formed by referring to the professionals of the human race and the dragon race. Seeking fresh flowers. After a large number of actual battles, it was proven that this team formation method had a good effect, and the combat power could be greatly improved compared to fighting on their own. The team leader, Huli, was a level 83 Lord-level demon, and also the number 1 thug under the Black Sky Demon King. Lord-level demons have a very high status among demons, second only to the Demon King. Its attributes are comparable to those of Lord-level bosses of the same level. Comparable to the dragon race with ancestral blood, it can also compete with the human race's ceiling-level profession. Especially after the Lord-level demon becomes the Demon King, it will be invincible among the Demon Kings of the same level, much stronger than the Flame Demon King and the like. In order to ensure that Lin Moog could be successfully killed this time, the Black Sky Demon King let Huli, who generally doesn't move, take action. Huli said in a low voice, "Don't underestimate Lin Moog, even the Flame Demon King was killed by him." A demon sneered, "Captain, do you believe that? ... That's right, a level 52 human killed the Demon King, the human race must be bragging. The Flame Demon King must have encountered other god-level powerhouses in the human race and was surrounded and killed." The demons discussed in a hubbub. Mina didn't say a word, and secretly muttered in her heart, "Those who underestimate Lin Moog are dead. Anyway, if things go wrong, you go fight and kill, I'll slip away." She had been holding a teleportation stone tightly in her hand. This was given by the succubus queen, and it was very high level, and could suddenly break through the barriers set by the demons. She also told her to run away if there was a problem, and not to worry about the life or death of others. Demons are selfish, and Mina is no exception. Huli said in a low voice, "Mina, how far are we from Lin Moog?" When he looked at Mina, his eyes were fiery. Not only him, but other demons were also like this. However, his gaze was more obvious and aggressive. Mina responded, "We should be able to intercept him before he reaches the Burial Thunder Canyon. I've looked at the map, and there are no dangerous areas along the way. As long as we don't encounter a large group of wind flowers, there won't be any problems." Huli nodded, "Okay." Mina could feel Huli's gaze, and she was disdainful in her heart. Look, maybe you won't have a chance to look later." For some reason, she felt that Huli was very likely to die in Lin Moog's hands. Since she recognized that he was a dying person, then let him take a few more glances. What's more, I'm a succubus. Isn't it normal to be charming? Thinking in her heart, Mina exuded an even stronger charm. Huli's eyes were even more fiery. If it weren't for the Demon King's mission, Huli really wanted to have an in-depth exchange with Mina here. At this time, Lin Moog had stopped. A dragon team blocked his way. Chapter 473 We succubi are all yours. The second time I've encountered the dragon race. And both times, the dragon race took the initiative to come to my door. Lin Moog had killed too many dragons, his hands were stained with the blood of the dragons, and his body was filled with the resentment left by the dragons before their deaths. In the eyes of other dragons, Lin Moog was like a blazing sun in the sky, visible from a great distance. This team blocked Lin Moog, a team of only 10 people. Judging from the aura on them, they were all level 70 dragon warriors. Lin Moog didn't take them seriously at all, and even showed a hint of pity in his eyes. Before the dragons could surround him, a massive number of skeletons had already appeared, directly surrounding the other party. 72. Without any superfluous words, the alien races fight to the death upon meeting. Having let the dragon clan's warships escape before, none of these people will escape this time. Lin Moyu didn't use a curse. The range of a curse is too large, reaching 10,000 meters. Who knows if there are any hidden wind flowers nearby? If he accidentally provokes them, it would be another big trouble. The dragon clan generals' expressions changed drastically, their faces filled with fear. Lin Moyu nodded, "These are true dragons, not puppets." 503. War puppets would not feel fear, but true dragons would. It can be judged from their eyes. When they were surrounded by skeletons, their faces turned ashen, and fear arose in their hearts. As long as they are living beings, they are afraid of death, and the dragon clan is no exception. However, fear is useless, and death arrives as scheduled. Their resistance is like a joke, and they are submerged by the sea of skeletons in a few moments. He gained some military merits and skillfully stripped off their equipment. The equipment of these Dragon Clan generals is not bad and can be smelted back into materials. Lin Moyu returned to the time when he was in the upper space, killing, robbing, and stripping equipment. After doing these things neatly, Lin Moyu continued to advance towards the Burial Thunder Canyon. The Wind Thunder continent is indeed a world of the Dragon Clan and the Demon Clan. The two races are clearly divided, with the center of the continent as the boundary. The southern part of the Wind Thunder continent is the territory of the Dragon Clan, and the northern part is the territory of the demons. The Burial Thunder Canyon is located in the central southern part of the territory, belonging to the Dragon Clan's territory. In this area, there are many dragons. Lin Moyu encountered several Dragon Clan teams along the way and cleaned them up neatly, hardly wasting any effort. Through several battles, Lin Moyu became clearer about his strength. Even ordinary level 80 Dragon Clan generals can be easily killed with a little effort. If they are Dragon Clan generals with advanced bloodlines, it will be relatively troublesome, but only a little troublesome. As for those with ancestral bloodlines, they have not been seen yet. Dragons with this kind of bloodline are too rare. They are as rare as the ceiling level professionals of the human race, with only a few appearing in each generation. Only the number of Lord-level demons in the Demon Clan is relatively larger, but it is only relatively larger and still very rare. Half a day later, Lin Moyu finally fought his way to the Burial Thunder Canyon. Along the way, at least hundreds of Dragon Clan generals had died in his hands. He estimated that the Dragon Clan was already furious at this time. Lin Moyu looked at the Burial Thunder Canyon hundreds of meters away. It was marked as highly dangerous on the map. There are world-class bosses inside, and more than one. Even level 80+ professionals would be in danger of falling if they entered. The canyon was extremely quiet, without a sound. No thunder, no lightning, everything was extremely silent. From the Wind Thunder Sea onwards, there had been constant wind, rain, thunder, and lightning. Now that it was so quiet, it was even more strange. He recalled Antares' demonstration at the time. Antares wanted him to find that huge crystal at the deepest part of the canyon. Lin Moyu took a deep breath and flew towards the canyon. He had already prepared the Abyss Teleportation Stone, ready to flash away if anything went wrong. The sound disappeared. The closer he got to the Burial Thunder Canyon, the fewer sounds he could hear. The sound of his own heartbeat became obvious. Even the sound of the undead lightning wings flapping and the faint sound of electricity were so clear. And there was a peculiar fragrance. Lin Moyu suddenly realized something was wrong. He had experienced this feeling before, and he had smelled the fragrance before. The barrier appeared in an instant, enveloping Lin Moyu within it. A charming laugh rang out, and Mina appeared in midair. Huli followed Mina, and the demon elite team led by Huli descended from the sky, surrounding Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu secretly sensed the Abyss Teleportation Stone and found that it was not affected. He felt slightly relieved and looked at Mina, here to die again. Mina knew that her charm was ineffective against Lin Moyu, so she no longer used her charm, but looked at Lin Moyu with a smile. The Demon King asked me to bring a message to General Lin. Lin Moyu looked at her, wondering what she was up to. The Demon King said that it admires you very much, and the conditions it offered you before are still valid. If you agree, you can become the Demon King's concubine at any time, and the Demon King has many succubi under its command, all of whom will be yours. Lin Moyu sneered, I am human, not a hybrid. Mina's face immediately turned cold. How could it not hear that Lin Moyu was scolding it? Even scolding all the Abyss demons. Mina also sneered, since that's the case, then you can die. Saying that, it said to Huli, Brother Huli, I'll leave it to you. Hearing Mina's slightly greasy voice, Huli suddenly trembled all over and instantly reached his peak. Okay, this demon will chop him up and take him back to feed the demon hounds. At this time, Mina crushed a piece of Abyss Demon Stone. The Demon Stone exploded with brilliant fire, and the barrier suddenly became a ghostly green. The flames of the abyss burned fiercely in the barrier, permeating a peculiar power. This power acted on Lin Moyu's body. Mina said coldly, this is a seal stone specially designed for you human summoners. Unless you are a god-level summoner, your summoning technique will inevitably be sealed. Without summoning techniques, what abilities do you have left? Lin Moyu felt a strange power drilling into his body, but it had no effect. The passive skill status immunity allowed him to be immune to all negative statuses. What summoning seal technique, completely useless. Kill. When Mina made her move, Huli roared, and a dark spear appeared in his hand, killing Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu pointed his finger, and with a flash of white light, the bone prison instantly activated. Bone prisons appeared on several demons at the same time. Huli roared, his power soared, and he broke through the bone prison almost in the blink of an eye. As a Lord-level demon of level 83, he was comparable to a Lord-level boss of the same level. Except that his vitality was not as good as a Lord-level boss, everything else was not bad. The total attributes reached more than 3 million. The huge power instantly broke through the bone prison. Die. Huli rushed towards Lin Moyu again with excitement. In his opinion, killing a level 52 guy was effortless. Suddenly, a red light flashed, and Huli found that his speed had suddenly slowed down. Curse. 73. Its power surged, impacting the force of the curse. Then, darkness fell, and it saw a skeleton wielding an axe. The skeleton was raising the axe, hacking down at it head-on. Not just one in front, but skeletons were everywhere, above, below, all around. Instantly, more than 10 axes came down with a red glow. Huli roared, unleashing a skill. The spear swept across fiercely, with a series of bangs, sweeping away all the surrounding skeleton berserkers. The curse was also broken through a lot, although it had not fully recovered, it no longer affected the battle. Before it could catch its breath, a series of elemental explosions crashed down, dazzling it. With its defense, although the elemental explosions did not cause much damage, it couldn't withstand the sheer number of them. Of the tens of thousands of skeleton archmages, at least half were targeting it. Along with the elemental explosions came the sharp arrows of the marksman. The arrows rained down on it, causing a needle-like stinging sensation. Why hasn't your summoning magic been sealed? The Demon King's seal stone can't have failed, this is impossible. Mina's panicked voice rang out. Huli turned its head to look, but as far as it could see, there were only skeletons, and Mina was nowhere to be found. Huli's murderous intent locked onto Lin Moyu. The best way to deal with a summoner is to kill the summoner himself. Kill. With a roar, Huli's spear shot out like a dragon towards Lin Moyu, knocking away all the skeletons in its path. The next second, it suddenly felt a pain in its head. An unimaginable, intense pain swept over it, and with a scream, its momentum stopped abruptly, and it almost lost its grip on the spear. Chapter 474. Summoning the Demon Ancestor. From Mina's exclamation, one could hear her disbelief and panic. Lin Moyu's performance once again refreshed her understanding. How could Lin Moyu ignore the seal stone given by the succubus queen? Moreover, Lin Moyu had too many skeletons, not only that, but they were also stronger. Terrifyingly strong. Mina was also besieged by skeletons, her strength was not weak, and she was also an elite-level demon. Although not as good as Huli, it was not easy to kill her. She broke free from her restraints only half a beat slower than Huli, shaking off the surrounding skeletons. A pair of delicate palms turned into divine weapons, enough to confront the axes of the skeleton berserkers head-on. She heard Huli's roar, and still held a glimmer of hope in her heart. But in less than half a second, when Huli's scream rang out, this glimmer of hope was shattered. All the energy in her body surged, and countless delicate and small shields appeared in front of her, protecting herself firmly. Skill. Succubus shield. Wait 30 seconds, if Huli can't kill Lin Moyu after 30 seconds, I'll leave. Mina said to herself secretly. She propped up her shield and curled up. Fortunately, Lin Moyu was not targeting her now, so her shield could last longer. She didn't dare to face Lin Moyu, and could only pin her hopes on Huli. When she first met Lin Moyu, he was just an ant that she could control at will. It had only been so long, and he had already grown to this point. Mina felt that she was the ant now. She didn't even have the courage to face Lin Moyu. Huli endured the severe pain and tightened his grip on the spear again. Curse, soul attack, binding, summoning, how can there be such a comprehensive profession? Huli thought in his heart, black energy soaring into the sky, and in an instant, the aura of the abyss turned into the fire of the abyss. Huli was instantly enveloped in dark green flames. Skill. Protective Flame. This was his defensive skill, which could not only defend against physical and elemental attacks, but also defend against soul attacks. It was a perfect defensive skill, comparable to the human knight's ultra-limit defense. The only drawback was that in the protective flame state, the attack power would be weakened a lot. But now, to face Lin Moyu's soul attack, he had no choice but to make this choice. He roared again and rushed over. The skeletons were knocked back one after another. His aura was always locked on Lin Moyu. He knew where Lin Moyu was. From the beginning to the present, Lin Moyu had not moved half a step. Under the protective flame, all elemental explosions and arrow attacks were blocked. Suddenly, tens of millions of lightning bolts fell, and Huli immediately felt a sense of numbness. Then a trace of pain appeared in his body, and a layer of green surged on his body. Outside the green, there was also a layer of frozen color. The speed slowed down a lot again. Lightning strike, poison element, ice attack. Huli felt like he was going crazy. What kind of messy skills were these? How could these skills that couldn't be related to each other appear on the same person? But the battle had already begun, and he had no possibility of retreating. He was a Lord-level demon, and his race was called the Abyss Spear Demon. Once he could become a Demon King, he would be a Lord-level Demon King. Even a level 90 Lord-level Demon King could be on par with a level 93 ordinary Demon King. This was the advantage of bloodline, incomparable. The dignity of the race was here, and he was absolutely not allowed to retreat. After the elemental liches appeared, the speed of the skeletons increased again, and their defenses also became stronger, coupled with the continuous damage attacks of the lightning aura, ice aura, and poisonous aura. This elite demon team was completely stunned. All the demons had the same reaction. Lin Moyu was a pervert. They felt like they were fighting against an entire army with knights, support, healers, melee, and ranged, everything. A question arose in the hearts of the demons: how to fight? This distribution can't be fought. Lin Moyu stood in midair, surveying the entire field under the protection of the skeletons. These demons were very strong, all above level 80, and it was a bit difficult to kill them. If he could use that strong soldier's skill, he was confident that he could kill these guys in seconds, and no one would be able to escape. But he was about to enter the Burial Thunder Canyon, and that strong soldier's skill would still be useful. The others are easy to deal with, but the demons with spears are a bit strong. I remember encountering one with a spear in the upper space, and it blew itself up in the end. It should be the same race. Lin Moyu thought in his heart. Since he couldn't kill them in seconds, he would grind them down slowly. Anyway, these guys couldn't rush over, and the dense skeletons had already blocked their path forward. Huli maintained his protective flame and charged straight ahead. But there were too many skeletons, and he couldn't rush through it all. 74. Before it was okay, but the protective flames weakened its attack power a lot, and with the appearance of the halo, the skeleton's defense was greatly improved. With this ebb and flow, Huli became a caged bird, a turtle in a jar, unable to move. The skeleton's attacks landed on it non-stop, and the poison element attacks inside its body continued every second, with constant stings coming. It was like a knife was constantly stabbing itself inside its body, one stab per second, incredibly stable. The protective flame could block external attacks, but it couldn't block attacks from inside the body. A little starlight exploded, and Lin Mo casually clicked on the poisonous starburst. The poison element in the body suddenly increased a lot, and the stabs became even more painful. After a few seconds of stalemate, Huli knew it couldn't continue like this. The protective flame disappeared, and the dark abyss aura rushed out again, stronger than before. Huli roared, "Summon the ancestor of demons." Its voice echoed back and forth within the barrier. The demons who were being besieged immediately roared at the same time, rushing out of the huge black aura. The dark abyss aura converged in midair, forming an isolation, and all the skeletons could not get close. Lin Mo's expression changed slightly. He had never seen this skill before, and it seemed quite strong. In the black air, Huli's elite team took the lead and rushed out of the encirclement and gathered in the air. Lin Mo saw that the aura of the other 9 demons besides Huli was a little chaotic. Obviously, this skill had a great impact on them. The power of the 10 people gathered together at this moment, and a huge demon holding a gun appeared in the black air. Na's eyes sparkled. Unexpectedly, it can summon the projection of the Lord-level ancestor of demons. No wonder the Black Sky Demon King is so confident. Na naturally knew this skill. Their succubus clan also had similar skills, which could summon the projection of the ancestor of succubus. The succubus summoned the projection of the ancestor of succubus. Huli summoned the projection of the ancestor of gun demons. Succubus are elite-level demons, and gun demons are lord-level demons. The strength of the ancestor of demons projection are completely different. Obviously, the ancestor of gun demons is stronger. However, the stronger the ancestor of demons, the more difficult it is to summon. Not every demon can use this skill. The black air converged into the projection of the ancestor of gun demons, carrying a coercive aura that made Lin Mo frown slightly. Judging from the aura, it's not even pseudo-god level, and 643 in the aura is a bit chaotic. It shouldn't last long. Lin Mo felt the other party's aura. After truly facing the pseudo-god, Lin Mo no longer felt anything about it. In Lin Mo's eyes, even the Great Leaf Mother Tree was stronger than the chaotic projection in front of him. Hu Lai felt the immense power of the ancestor's projection, pointed the gun at Lin Mo, prepare to die. The ancestor of gun demons immediately roared and stabbed Lin Mo with a fierce shot. It was over 20 meters tall, and the spear in its hand was also over 20 meters long. It hardly needed to move, one shot could hit Lin Mo. Lin Mo snorted coldly. Originally he didn't want to use that strong soldier skill, but it suddenly activated. After all, people are working so hard, so I have to give them some face. All the skeletons were strengthened in an instant, and Lin Mo's own attributes also skyrocketed. A white light flashed, and the projection of the ancestor of gun demons was immediately covered by bones, stuck in midair and unable to move. The soul fire started to burn again. The target was Hu Lai. Lin Mo could see that it was the leader of this skill. As long as he dealt with it, this skill would be defeated without attack. But the soul fire failed to cause damage to Hu Lai. Hu Lai smiled coldly, it's useless, under the protection of the ancestors, your attack can't hurt me. Break! Hu Lai shouted angrily, using the projection to break through the bone prison, and stabbed Lin Mo again with a shot. Since it was ineffective against Hu Lai, then kill the projection first. Skeleton berserkers rushed towards the projection. The projection was big enough to allow the skeleton berserkers to unleash their strongest damage. Lin Mo's soul fire also transferred to the projection. At the same time, a red light flashed. The curse of aging arrived first, pulling the damage to the limit. Chapter 475 Blow You Up, 3-star God General. This time the scream was extremely loud. Including Hu Lai, 10 demons screamed at the same time. The soul fire fell on the ancestors' projection, but it acted on their souls. Hu Lai realized that something was wrong, and endured the great pain and shouted loudly, quickly withdraw your spirit. Use the protective flame. Saying that, it roared, and the protective flame burned again. Only this skill can block soul attacks. When withdrawing the spiritual connection, Hu Lai left the last thought on the ancestor's projection. Kill Lin Mo. The ancestor projection's spear swept across, with constant banging sounds. The huge attack knocked many skeleton berserkers flying out. These skeleton berserkers had already taken shape when they were attacked, but because of the existence of the undead halo, they were given a second life. But more skeleton berserkers pounced on the projection, erupting with their strongest skills. The axe chopped down with a red light. The projection felt no pain, but the aura on it quickly weakened under the axe. Elemental explosions and sharp arrows densely landed on the projection. This round of attacks reduced the projection's size by a full 10th. Impossible, how could your attack be so strong? Hu Lai couldn't believe it and roared loudly. The ancestor projection it summoned gathered the power of the entire team. At least it's an existence between level 88 and 89. At least 5 or 6 levels higher than itself, which is a very big gap. Lin Mo's skeletons are powerful, but it has already seen it just now. It is impossible to have such a strong attack power. Na exclaimed, it's Lin Mo's origin rune skill. Hu Lai noticed at this time that the back of Lin Mo's hand was still glowing slightly, and a rune was flashing. The skill greatly enhanced the combat power of the skeletons, and not just one, but all of them. Hu Lai suddenly felt a chill down his spine. It seemed to understand why the Flame Demon King died. Perhaps it was really killed by Lin Mo. The origin rune skill is too strong, so strong that it's shocking. The ancestor projection still did not hurt Lin Mo, its attacks were all blocked by the skeleton berserkers. But under the full attack of the skeletons, its aura became weaker and weaker. In just 10 seconds, it was about to dissipate. Hu Lai shouted loudly, there's no way, we can only use that move. Its eyes swept over several team members. You leave 10% of your blood essence, although there will be some damage, you can still recover after going back. It didn't need to ask the team members for their opinions, it directly made the decision. The levels between demons are very strict, the orders of the upper demons, the lower demons can only execute. 9 demons above level 80 spat out blood at the same time. The blood spat out gathered into a ball in the air, and their aura suddenly weakened. Then Hulai also spat out blood in large mouthfuls. 75. At the same time, abyssal flames surged from his body, merging all the blood together. In the name of the Demon Lord, I sacrifice my essence blood to summon the Black Sky Demon King to descend. The sky suddenly darkened, and a huge space-time channel abruptly appeared. Mina, who was already preparing to escape, suddenly exclaimed, summoning the Black Sky Demon King. No, it's not summoning the true body of the Black Sky Demon King, just an avatar. As a level 95 Lord-class Demon King, the cost of its true body coming over would be too great. This little essence blood is not enough for a true descent. What's coming is definitely an avatar. Even an avatar is equivalent to an ordinary level 91 or 92 Demon King. It's about the same as a human race's divine level powerhouse. Killing a Lin Moyu is definitely enough. Let's see how you die this time. She knew very well how much Hulai and the others would have to pay. Sacrificing 90% of their essence blood for the summoning would take at least several years to recover. It might even leave after effects. But in order to fulfill the Demon King's order, they were truly desperate. Mina decided to watch a little longer, preferably to witness Lin Moyu being killed with her own eyes. From the space-time channel, a huge hand reached out. The aura of the Demon King swept over, and the entire barrier was trembling, on the verge of collapse. Lin Moyu's hair stood on end. Demon King. The arriving Demon King was even more powerful than the angelic spirit. It was the most powerful being Lin Moyu had ever seen. Just a single arm emerging was enough for Lin Moyu to feel the threat to his life. Moreover, Lin Moyu realized that he had been locked on. Even if he escaped now, it would catch up and kill him in minutes after it came out. Relying on the Undead Legion wouldn't be enough to stop this Demon King. Even with the strong soldier skill, it wouldn't work. I can't wait for it to come out. Lin Moyu made a decision instantly. A mass of essence blood appeared in his hand. The essence blood of the god of poison. Now Lin Moyu could only pin his hopes on it. If this didn't work, then the last hope would be to detonate the corpse of the god of poison. No matter what, it would definitely kill that bastard. Hulai had completed the skill, and now he was waiting for the Black Sky Demon King's avatar to come out, so he could witness Lin Moyu being killed with his own eyes. A bloodthirsty light flashed in Hulai's eyes, along with hatred. You're dead. It spat out 4 words through gritted teeth. Although it was very weak now, it was becoming increasingly excited. Since it went to war, it had rarely failed. This time, it was truly a crushing defeat, a complete loss. Now, seeing Lin Moyu about to be killed, how could it not be excited? Even if it had paid a great price, it was worth it. At this moment, a green light soared into the sky. Terrifying poisonous gas spread within the barrier. The protective flames on their bodies were distorted, suppressed almost to the point of extinguishing. What is this thing? How can it be so terrifying? It saw a guy only 1 meter tall appear next to Lin Moyu. All the skeletons were retreating frantically, including Lin Moyu himself. This green guy was rushing towards the space-time channel. Not good. Hulai sensed something was wrong. This thing was extremely terrifying. They wanted to escape, but it was too late, because they had consumed too much energy from the skill, making it difficult to move. Mina also sensed the danger, screamed, and retreated madly. Boom! The green light exploded silently, without any earth-shattering scene. The poisonous gas that exploded only covered an area of 30 to 40 meters centered on the space-time channel. It happened to engulf Hulai and the other demons as well. Mina reacted quickly and escaped the range of the poisonous gas in time. It saw with its own eyes Hulai rapidly melting in the poisonous gas, turning into thick water, not even leaving any dregs. Even the Demon King's avatar, which had just poked out half its body, was also melting at this moment. Unimaginable fear filled its entire body. How can there be such terrifying poison? Even the poison of the rotting poison Demon King couldn't poison the Black Sky Demon King's avatar to death. Mina didn't stay any longer. It decisively activated the Succubus Queen's teleportation stone and disappeared into the barrier in the blink of an eye. The Black Sky Demon King's avatar was corroded by the poison, and screams kept coming from the space-time channel. Lin Moyu stared without blinking, afraid of any accidents. Fortunately, there were no accidents in the end. Half of the Black Sky Demon King's body was completely corroded by the poison, not even leaving any dregs. The space-time channel disappeared. Hulai and the others had already been wiped out the moment the poison exploded. Lin Moyu looked at the location where Mina had been standing. She escaped again. Lin Moyu smiled slightly. The strong soldier skill still had a few seconds left. Lin Moyu didn't waste it and directly ordered the Undead Legion to attack the barrier. In a few seconds, the barrier shattered in response. At the same time, Lin Moyu received a notification. Killed the of Black Sky Demon King's avatar, experience plus ***. Killed the Black Sky Demon King's avatar, General Star +1. A full 91 billion experience points, an increase of more than 30%, suddenly rising from 50% to nearly 80%. It looked like another 20% and he could level up again. The sergeant's badge flashed with a gorgeous purple light, and the third general star finally condensed. 3-star Divine General. From this moment on, Lin Moyu became a 3-star Divine General. Lin Moyu realized only after seeing the notification that he had killed the Black Sky Demon King's avatar. The Demon King's avatar had reached level 91, one can imagine how strong its main body is. At least level 94 or 95. Fortunately, I didn't let it come out, otherwise I would have been the one to die. If it had come out, Lin Moyu wouldn't have been confident that he could have the poisonous lich blow it up. In the abyss, angry and terrifying cries came from the Black Sky Demon King's palace. Lin Moyu, you deserve to die. This king will definitely kill you. The entire palace nearly collapsed, and the abyssal flames danced wildly. In the Black Sky Demon King's governed royal city, its avatar being killed by poison caused great chaos. The poison didn't disappear after killing the avatar, but gradually spread outward. 76. Lin Moyu didn't enter the Wind and Thunder Canyon. He planned to wait until the open black lens bracket strong soldier close black lens bracket skill cooled down before going in. The 3 general stars on the sergeant's badge were gorgeous and conspicuous. Among the human race, 3-star divine generals are very rare. Even divine-level powerhouses may not necessarily be stained with the blood of demon kings. Even if they have killed a demon king, they have most likely only killed one. The sergeant's badge, which had just dimmed, suddenly lit up again. Then a large amount of information appeared. Open black lens bracket killed level 72 abyssal sword demon, experience plus 432000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket killed level 73 abyssal sword demon, experience plus 438000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket killed level 71 abyssal blade demon, experience plus 426000 close black lens bracket. Experience sword again. Lin Moyu didn't understand what was happening at first, but after thinking about it, he had a guess. It seems that this poison is spreading in the abyss. Being able to gain experience is a good thing, and being able to kill demons is even better. He didn't realize that he had inadvertently slaughtered most of a city again, and it was still a royal city. In the royal city under the control of the Black Sky Demon King, poisonous gas continued to spread and permeate. A large number of demons were poisoned to death. Demons around level 70 couldn't withstand the toxins from the essence blood of the god of poison. It was almost certain death upon contact. The poisonous gas spread and permeated throughout the city with the wind, and in a blink of an eye, it enveloped most of the city. Not only were demons poisoned to death, but even the houses and buildings in the city collapsed and decayed in the poisonous gas. Before the god of poison fell, he was a middle-level god, equivalent to a level 93 to 95 demon king, and even the kind that surpassed elite demon kings. It's hard to imagine how strong its poison was. The poisonous gas lingered for a long time, a large number of demons fled, and this royal city was completely abandoned. No matter how angry the Black Sky Demon King was, it was useless and couldn't change anything. Lin Moyu gained a lot of experience, and the experience increased by another 10%, reaching 90% of level 52, and he was not far from the next level. It had only been less than 2 days since the last level up, and he was about to level up again. Lin Moyu felt that even if he repeatedly farmed dungeons, his leveling speed would be no more than this. After resting for an hour, the open black lens bracket strong soldier close black lens bracket skill cooldown ended. Lin Moyu took a deep breath, put on the bone armor, and entered the Burial Thunder Canyon. Entering the Burial Thunder Canyon was like entering another world. This is a secret realm. The Burial Thunder Canyon gave Lin Moyu a feeling similar to a secret realm. Lin Moyu knew that it wasn't actually a secret realm, but the feeling was somewhat similar. He had only walked less than 10 meters in the canyon when the scene in front of him suddenly brightened, and a ball of lightning silently exploded in front of him. The bone armor made a crisp sound and shattered in the lightning. The power of the lightning didn't completely disappear after shattering the bone armor. It still caused some damage to Lin Mo-yu. However, Lin Mo-yu had 80% lightning element immunity, plus the Undead Legion shared the damage, so the damage wasn't significant. Lin Mo-yu stopped because of this. The lightning ball came without any warning, appearing out of thin air like this. From beginning to end, there was no sound, it just appeared abruptly and disappeared abruptly, and its power was so great. Somewhat strange, Lin Mo-yu stopped in place and didn't move, he observed his surroundings. He didn't see anything unusual. The canyon was incredibly quiet, even the slightest breeze had disappeared. Lin Mo-yu could clearly hear his own heartbeat, breathing, and even the sound of blood flowing in his body. The canyon wasn't barren, and some small grasses and vegetation grew there. However, these small grasses were completely still. There wasn't even the slightest sway, like stones that had been there for millions of years. It seemed that there was no wind, so the small grasses didn't move at all. But that wasn't the feeling Lin Mo-yu got. He had a guess in his mind, put on the bone armor again, and tried to take a step forward. Another ball of lightning exploded on his body, shattering the bone armor again. Lin Mo-yu stood still again. After thinking about it, he released a skeleton berserker. At the same time as the skeleton berserker appeared, a ball of lightning immediately exploded in front of the skeleton berserker. The explosion made the skeleton berserker tremble uncontrollably. There was electricity flowing on its body, fortunately the damage was shared by the Undead Legion. Otherwise, this skeleton berserker would be severely injured even if it didn't die. Lin Mo-yu tried to let the skeleton take 2 steps forward. Every step he took, lightning would explode. It seemed that there were invisible lightning balls everywhere here. Lin Mo-yu took out an empty box and threw it forward. The empty box was destroyed by the lightning in midair. This further confirmed his guess. He understood why the grasses here grew so short and didn't move at all. It seemed that as long as there was a little bit of movement, they would be bombarded by lightning. These lightning bolts were terrifyingly powerful, much stronger than the lightning outside the canyon. After several experiments, Lin Mo-yu was completely sure that as long as there was action in the Burial Thunder Canyon, he would inevitably suffer lightning strikes. If he stood still, there would be no lightning on his body. When he summoned the skeleton berserker earlier, no lightning came down. Only when the skeleton berserker moved did the lightning appear. After doing this experiment, Lin Mo-yu had a bottom line in his heart. He quickly walked towards the interior of the canyon. Balls of lightning continued to explode on his body, the whole process didn't make any sound, only the electric light kept flashing, the whole scene was strange and heart-stopping. Lin Mo-yu walked faster and faster, and the lightning became more and more dense. After walking 1,000 meters in one breath, Lin Mo-yu finally stopped. He had endured thousands of lightning strikes. If it were another professional, even at level 80, he would be severely injured if not dead. But Lin Mo-yu was like nothing had happened. Not only was he not injured, his hair wasn't messed up, and his clothes weren't damaged. Damage transfer gave all the damage he suffered to the Undead Legion to share. After Lin Mo-yu stopped, he summoned all the Undead Legion. Suddenly, more than 30,000 skeletons filled the canyon. The Lich General began to heal the entire army. As long as the skeletons didn't move, no lightning would explode. After the healing was completed, Lin Mo-yu put away the Undead Legion and continued to move forward. Repeating this, Lin Mo-yu walked faster and faster. Later, he even used the Undead Lightning Wings to fly in the Burial Thunder Canyon. The Burial Thunder Canyon was too quiet, a desolate place. 77. In the Thunderous Pool, another high-danger area of the same level, one can still see level 80+ professionals leveling up. Human professionals leveling up on dragon territory shows they have absolute confidence in their strength. But in the Burial Thunder Canyon, there's truly no one to be seen. At least, Lin Mo-yu has advanced tens of thousands of meters, resting every 1,000 meters, a full 10 times, without seeing anyone. Not even a single monster. But it's understandable, who would willingly come to this hellish place where you get struck by lightning with every step? The first fork is ahead, 3 paths, I should take the middle one. Lin Mo-yu recalled the map Antares gave him in his mind. To reach the location of that crystal, one needs to go through 9 forks. Each fork has 3 to 6 choices. As long as you choose wrong once, you won't reach the crystal's location. Lin Moyu wrote down every choice at each intersection. First fork, 1 out of 3, choose the middle one. Lin Moyu suddenly felt himself sink, and he immediately descended from the air. The lightning undead wings had already automatically disappeared. Flying is prohibited here. Lin Moyu looked at the canyon sky, which was slightly dim. There seemed to be starlight twinkling in the air. Seeing starlight in the lower space was even more eerie. On both sides were steep, smooth cliffs. In a state where you can't fly, it's impossible to fly up. After entering the first passage, the power of the lightning became even greater. About 10% greater, not much. At this moment, a point of starlight fell from the sky, landing right in front of Lin Moyu. The starlight exploded in front of Lin Moyu, and a huge monster rushed out of the starlight, heading straight for Lin Moyu without a word. As it charged forward, lightning also exploded on its body. The lightning in the Burial Thunder Canyon is impartial. No matter who you are, as long as you move, I'll blast you. The key is that after being blasted by lightning, this monster didn't seem to be injured at all, and its aura even faintly increased. Lin Moyu immediately cast detection, and at the same time, a dense undead legion appeared in front of him. Open black lens bracket lightning beast elite monster close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level, 80 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket strength, 350,000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket agility, 450,000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket spirit, 300,000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket constitution, 500,000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket skills, lightning absorption passive lightning blast close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket traits, lightning element immunity, can absorb lightning to enhance itself, enhanced vitality, enhanced strength, enhanced speed close black lens bracket. The lightning beast collided with the undead legion like lightning. Its immense power instantly sent many skeletons flying. For a time, the lightning flourished, and the entire canyon was enveloped in lightning. Chapter 477, Absolutely Impossible to Pass. The skeletons were sent flying, bombarded by countless lightning bolts midair. Facing the aggressive lightning beast, the skeleton berserkers were not afraid, braving the lightning to meet it. The archmages and sharpshooters remained still, casting spells in place. As long as they didn't move, they wouldn't be attacked by the lightning. Lin Moyu pointed his finger. Skill, Curse of Aging. Skill, Poison Starburst. The two skills erupted almost simultaneously. Then, poisonous halos appeared under the skeletons' feet, and the poison liches emerged in response. Although one should use their full strength even to hunt a rabbit, there was no need to make a big fuss when facing an ordinary level 80 boss. Under the effect of the Curse of Aging, the lightning beast's speed suddenly slowed down. Lin Moyu also truly saw its appearance clearly. Its appearance was like a lion, with thick fur all over its body. But its palms were more like bear paws, thick and wide. A big slap would be enough to send many skeleton berserkers flying. It was strong and fast, but unfortunately, its constitution wasn't great. Facing the dense elemental explosions and sharpshooters, arrows, it was on the verge of death in the blink of an eye. Lin Moyu also observed that the lightning that constantly exploded during its movements actually had the effect of healing it. Its passive skill was to absorb lightning, and the lightning element was a great tonic for it. Absorbing lightning to heal itself, or even evolve, is truly peculiar. Lin Moyu thought to himself, the world is full of wonders. After initially feeling a little surprised, he quickly got used to it. Under the undead legion's relentless attacks, the lightning beast was clearly unable to hold on. Before its death, it suddenly erupted with brilliant lightning all over its body. Skill, Lightning Blast, its only skill, and also its last skill. It blasted not only the enemy, but also itself. Lin Moyu only felt a bright light in front of him, and the dazzling lightning blinded him. In the spiritual world, he saw a large number of skeletons being blasted away. The explosion radius covered 200 meters, which wasn't too big. The blasted skeletons were once again subjected to the lightning baptism in the Burial Thunder Canyon. Fortunately, the Lich generals healed them quickly enough to prevent any damage to the skeletons. Lin Moyu looked at the emptiness in front of him. The ground was scorched black, blasted out by lightning. It actually self-destructed. This skill is actually a self-destruct skill. Lin Moyu said in a low voice. He didn't expect the lightning beast's skill to be a mutual destruction skill. At this moment, he raised his head and looked at the stars in the sky. He had just watched the star fall and turn into a lightning beast with his own eyes. Now that the lightning beast had self-destructed and died, the fallen star reappeared in midair. Only its light was much dimmer than before. Lin Moyu observed for a while and found that it was recovering, and it wouldn't be long before it could return to its peak state and transform into a lightning beast again. Judging from the power of its self-destruction just now, even a level 80 knight could be instantly killed if they didn't activate their ultimate defense. As for other level 80 professionals, they're basically dead. It's the first time I've seen a boss that self-destructs. Lin Moyu carefully reviewed the process just now. Bosses of this level usually try to escape if they can't win. They have a desire to survive. But it self-destructed so decisively just now. It's truly an oddity among bosses. And because it self-destructed, it didn't count as being killed, so there was no experience, no materials, and no props. A loss-making endeavor. It's normal that no one comes to the burial Thunder Canyon. After the Undead Legion was completely healed, Lin Moyu set off again. 78. This passage was about 10,000 meters long. Lin Moyu, having the previous experience, rested once every 2,000 meters. Lin Moyu had gradually grasped the rhythm of the canyon, and his speed was also gradually increasing. Advancing with sparks and lightning, Lin Moyu arrived at the second fork in the road after only 10 minutes. This time, there were 4 roads to choose from. Because of Antares, Lin Moyu already knew which one to choose. Without any hesitation, he directly chose the second road and entered. As soon as he entered the passage, another burst of lightning exploded. The lightning looked exactly the same as before, with no difference. But the power had increased again. Compared to when he first entered the valley, the increase was about 30%. This level of increase was not very powerful for Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu raised his head and looked at the sky. This time, 2 stars appeared in the sky, shining brightly. The number has increased, and they are brighter. Could it be that the level has also increased? Lin Moyu thought in his heart and continued to move forward. After walking less than 1,000 meters, he personally saw 2 stars falling from the sky together. The starlight exploded upon landing, and 2 thunder light beasts emerged in response. This change was within Lin Moyu's expectations. Facing the thunder light beasts pouncing like lightning, Lin Moyu was not flustered, and directly summoned the Undead Legion. Then came the curse of aging and the poison star burst, and at the same time, the poison lich had already appeared beside him. Only then did he calmly cast the detection spell. Open black lens bracket thunder light beast elite monster close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level, 81 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket strength, 400,000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket agility, 500,000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket spirit, 300,000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket constitution, 550,000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket skills, lightning absorption passive thunder light blast close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket traits, lightning element immunity, can absorb lightning to enhance itself, enhanced vitality, enhanced strength, enhanced speed close black lens bracket. The level had increased by 1 compared to before, and the number had increased by 1. The attributes had slightly increased, but the skills and traits had not changed. Purely from the perspective of difficulty, it had increased by more than double. For ordinary teams of professionals, facing 1 boss and 2 bosses was a completely different concept, and it was easy to lose sight of one thing while attending to another. But for Lin Moyu, there was no difference. Surrounded by the Undead Legion, the 2 level 81 ordinary bosses were quickly cleaned up. Seeking flowers. Before dying, they detonated themselves together. Before they detonated, Lin Moyu tried to interrupt their self-destruction with soul flames and bone prison. But neither succeeded. The simultaneous self-destruction of the 2 bosses was much more powerful than before. A large number of skeletons were blown away, and they were subjected to dense lightning strikes in the air. The Lich General was prepared and healed in time. Lin Moyu looked slightly serious during the self-destruction. The power of the self-destruction had increased, and the damage suffered by the skeletons was even greater. If the power could be doubled again, then the skeletons would likely be instantly killed. The comprehensive connection talent might also fail again. You must know that this is only the second fork in the road. There are still 7 forks behind, and the power will definitely increase. Even if the undead aura of the undead lich was used, because the boss's self-destruction was not carried out simultaneously, there was always a slight time difference between them. This little time difference was enough for many skeletons to suffer 2 fatal blows in a row. 0, thus causing the undead aura to lose its effect. Lin Moyu looked at the 2 stars that reappeared in the sky and muttered to himself, "It seems I have to think of a way." While thinking, his footsteps did not stop, and he quickly arrived at the 3rd fork. This time there were 6 choices, and 6 passages appeared in front of Lin Moyu. If Antares had not given the correct choice, he would have most likely chosen the wrong one. Once the wrong choice was made, he would not be able to reach the location of the final crystal. This time it's the 4th. Lin Moyu decisively entered the 4th passage. Lightning exploded again. This was normal operation. After entering the burial lightning canyon, Lin Moyu did not know how many tens of thousands of times he had been blown up, and he was already used to it. Watching the bone armor shatter, watching the remaining lightning strike his body. A slight numbness swept through his body, and Lin Moyu felt something was wrong. He tried to take 2 more steps forward and experienced the lightning in this passage. Lin Moyu's face had become very ugly. The power has increased by 60%. The first time was 10%, the second time was 30%, the third time was 60%. Each increase is based on the previous one plus 10%. If the increase rate is followed, the 4th time will be 100%, directly doubled. The 5th time is 150%. The 9th time is 450%. A full 5.5 times increase. It is estimated that at least level 88 professionals can withstand it. But Antares also said that it is best not to exceed level 80, which is self-contradictory. Even a level 79 Earth Knight may not be able to withstand the lightning after a 5.5 times increase, let alone the boss. The burial lightning canyon never thought of letting people in. This is a dead end. Lin Moyu's face was not good looking. He raised his head to look at the sky. 3 stars hung in the air, shining brightly. As expected, the thunder light beasts here became 3. Chapter 478. Study hard, the power of law. Lin Moyu had already judged that the burial lightning canyon was absolutely impossible. It was impossible to get to the end at all. Even for himself, it was estimated to be very difficult. But now he had already agreed to this transaction with Antares. Since he had already come, it didn't seem good to give up directly without trying. Lin Moyu never gave up. Either he didn't do it, or he would do his best once he did it. Perhaps there will be some changes later, it may not be so bad. After comforting himself, Lin Moyu continued to move forward. As before, after walking about 1,000 meters, the 3 stars in the sky fell at the same time and turned into a Thunderlight Beast. Level 82 Thunderlight Beast, Ordinary Boss. 79. Besides the enhanced attributes, there were no changes to the skills and traits, nothing new. For Lin Moyu, killing them wasn't difficult, the difficulty lay in how to reduce casualties during their final self-destruction. Lin Moyu's idea was to pull them apart, to stagger the timeline of their deaths. To prevent them from dying at the same time, or in the same place. After thinking it over, he felt this idea was feasible. Lin Moyu immediately began to implement it. Based on the previous self-destruction distance, he deliberately separated the 3 lightning beasts by thousands of meters. Then, he focused all his strength on besieging one of them first. In just half a minute, the lightning beast under full siege was on the verge of death. Then, its entire body glowed, and as Lin Moyu expected, it began to self-destruct. But immediately afterward, Lin Moyu discovered that his idea was not only useless, but it was also a mistake on top of a mistake. When one lightning beast's entire body glowed and was about to self-destruct, the other 2 lightning beasts also began to glow. They were also about to self-destruct. And Lin Moyu clearly sensed that the auras between these 3 lightning beasts seemed to be connected. Immediately afterward, brilliant and dazzling light illuminated the entire canyon. The 3 lightning beasts were clearly separated by 1,000 meters, but their self-destruction ranges were connected. The entire 3,000-meter range was within their self-destruction range. Almost all the skeletons were attacked by the self-destruction at this moment. The skeleton berserkers closest to them were all blown away. Bones cracked one by one, and began to disintegrate. Then, under the effect of the undead aura, they began to recover. Fortunately, there was the undead aura, otherwise Lin Moyu would have almost ushered in a wave of team wipe. Pulling them apart actually made the range of the self-destruction larger. And the power didn't weaken at all. Moreover, killing one will cause the other two to self-destruct together. What kind of mechanism is this? Lin Moyu was very speechless, but fortunately, the distance was far enough, and each skeleton only suffered the self-destruction attack from the lightning beast in front of it. In other words, the skeletons were all instantly killed, but they only suffered one fatal attack. The undead aura worked, allowing them to come back to life. However, the undead aura could not be used again within the next 24 hours. Lin Moyu couldn't help but feel a headache. The difficulty lies in having to stop and wait for 24 hours after walking each path. Think again, there must be other ways. Lin Moyu walked to the fourth fork in the road. This time there were 5 passages to choose from. Lin Moyu didn't go in, but stopped in front of the passage. Currently, the undead aura has entered a cooldown state, and he must wait. Otherwise, if it happens again, the undead army will really be wiped out. Having come this far, the Burial Lightning Canyon no longer felt like a place to level up. He felt that the Burial Lightning Canyon was more like a place of trial. Just like the Divinity Secret Realm. He was like passing through levels, passing through one level after another, and getting rewards at the end. This feeling became clearer and clearer the more he thought about it. This further stimulated Lin Moyu's desire to continue walking. His brain began to work quickly, and he began to think about various methods. In the abyss, green flames burned all year round. The destruction of Black Heaven King City had already spread. At this time, half of the huge King City was shrouded in poison. In the half of the city shrouded in poison, all the buildings had collapsed and the earth had been melted. This place was barren and had become a dead zone. All the demons in the city knew that anyone who touched this poison would die. Even demons above level 80 couldn't withstand it. When the poison spread, tens of thousands of demons died under the poison. The remaining demons all evacuated Black Heaven King City. Black Heaven Demon King looked at his King City, which he had been in charge of for many years, and his face was extremely gloomy. He said to a Demon King beside him, "Rotten Demon King, can you remove this poison?" Among the many Demon Kings in the abyss, Rotten Demon King was good at manipulating poison elements. It itself was as high as level 93, elite grade bloodline. Although its strength was not as good as Black Heaven Demon King, Black Heaven Demon King was still relatively polite to it. Black Heaven Demon King knew how difficult Rotten Demon King was to deal with. Once, a Demon King had a conflict with it. As a result, Rotten Demon King directly cast poison on the Demon King's palace. And launched a great battle with the opponent in the poison. Killing the Demon King, who was also elite grade, alive. Rotten Demon King was slightly short, and its whole body was curled up. Tisk tisk, this Demon King will try. It flew over with a gloomy smile, and did not rashly enter the poison. Instead, it took out a black magic stone and threw it in. The black magic stone floated in the air, absorbed some of the poison, and then flew back to Rotten Demon King's hand. Rotten Demon King held the magic stone and carefully sensed it. After a while, its expression suddenly changed, and it directly threw the magic stone away. Then, it shouted again, and its entire arm broke directly. The arm fell to the ground, making a sizzling sound, and thick smoke billowed. It itself was poisonous, and coupled with the poison in the city, the toxicity was even heavier, and the earth couldn't bear it. Rotten Demon King took a few steps back, and then shouted again, and a new arm quickly grew out. Regenerating a broken arm was as simple as eating and drinking for Rotten Demon King. Black Heaven Demon King asked, "How is it?" Rotten Demon King shook its head, "Too poisonous, more poisonous than this Demon King. This Demon King needs to study it carefully, it can't be cracked in a short time." Black Heaven Demon King knew that there was probably no hope of cracking it. Rotten Demon King must have said that for the sake of face. Black Heaven Demon King had already hated Lin Moyu to the bone. "Lin Moyu, I will kill you." Rotten Demon King made a tisk tisk laugh. "Black Heaven Demon King, don't think that this Demon King is saying this for the sake of face. This Demon King really wants to study this poison carefully. To be honest with you, this poison contains a trace of the power of law. If it is thoroughly studied, this Demon King can not only upgrade, but even have a chance to evolve its bloodline." Black Heaven Demon King's face suddenly changed. "You said the poison contains the power of law." Rotten Demon King laughed tisk tisk, laughing very happily. "That's right, it does contain the power of law. Although it's very weak, it really does. And that human named Lin Moyu, if he can be brought to the abyss, this demon king wants to have a good exchange with him. He must have similar treasures on him. Black Heaven Demon King said in a deep voice, if I can, I will. Also have a good exchange my ass. If there was a chance, Black Heaven Demon King would definitely stab Lin Moyu with a spear. This time he lost too much. Not only did his clone die, his king city was destroyed, but he also lost face. Black Heaven Demon King hated Lin Moyu to death. As long as he could kill him, he would never let him live for another minute or second. In the palace of Succubus Queen, Mina had already told Succubus Queen everything that had happened. 80. The Succubus Queen sighed. That Blacksky Demon King is really unlucky, even his Demon King level avatar died. I don't know how long it will take to create another one. That Lin Moyu is getting more and more perverted. I feel like there's no chance to kill him anymore. Give up. You don't need to go looking for trouble with him. Mina knelt on the ground, raising her head. Then how do we explain to His Majesty the Demon Emperor? The Succubus Queen said, just put on a show. Spread the word about Lin Moyu in the lower levels. Plenty of people will take action. Many people want to curry favor with the Demon Emperor. As you command. The Succubus Queen giggled, her eyes flashing with anticipation. Although she lost face, she didn't actually suffer much loss, unlike the Blacksky Demon King, who even lost an avatar. So, the Succubus Queen decided to stop in time and no longer be an enemy of Lin Moyu. If you can't kill someone like that, you might be the one who dies. The Succubus Queen even wondered if she could find an opportunity to repair her relationship with Lin Moyu. Although the possibility was very small. A day later, Lin Moyu slowly got up. And once again headed towards the fourth passage. Chapter 479. Even God-level experts can't endure as much as I can. The fourth passage is equivalent to the fourth stage. Lin Moyu estimated the power of the lightning he would encounter. The moment he stepped into the fourth passage, a bolt of lightning silently exploded in front of him. The bone armor shattered without suspense, without the slightest hesitation. The massive electric element slammed over, and a faint layer of film appeared on the surface of Lin Moyu's skin. Passive skill. Damage transfer. 80% of the electric element is negated, and the remaining 20% is weakened layer by his own elemental resistance, and finally shared by all members of the Undead Legion. The damage received was not significant. Lin Moyu believed that even if a god-level expert came here, they wouldn't be able to endure as much as he could. The damage has indeed doubled. My guess is correct. Each increase is 10% more than the previous one. Last time it was 60%, this time it's 100%. Lin Moyu felt that the doubled lightning attack was still bearable, and the damage wasn't too great. It's just that before, he needed to rest every 2,000 meters, but now he needs to rest every 1,500 meters or so the efficiency will be slightly reduced. Looking up at the sky, a strange look appeared on Lin Moyu's face. Why is there only one star? The stars did not become 4 as he had expected, but instead became 1. The number decreased, and the appearance 29 changed somewhat, becoming obviously larger and brighter. Lin Moyu was shocked. Could it be that the boss level has increased, from a normal boss to a lord boss? Lin Moyu had a headache. He would rather face 4 ordinary bosses than 1 lord level boss. An 80th level lord level boss is comparable to an 88th level ordinary boss. Lin Moyu then inadvertently saw the road behind him. It's gone. His face became extremely ugly. The retreat was gone. There was a blank space behind him, with no way to retreat. He checked his items immediately. Except for the Abyss Teleportation Stone, all teleportation items were ineffective. This was not a secret realm or a dungeon, so the Advanced Escape Scroll was originally ineffective. The Random Teleportation Scroll was also unusable at this time. Lin Moyu finally understood why top experts had fallen here. And why this place was marked as a high-level danger zone. The high-level danger zone was because top experts had fallen. But the place where top experts fell was not just a high-level danger zone. At least this place was not so simple. According to Lin Moyu's estimation, the top experts who entered the Burial Lightning Canyon either retreated before completing the first 3 passages, or entered the 4th passage and were unable to leave. Since entering the 4th passage, there was no retreat, and he could only go all the way to the end. Although there were elements of testing, it was completely different from the safe Divine Secret Realm. The Burial Lightning Canyon was too dangerous to an unimaginable degree. Lin Moyu was now in a dilemma and could only continue forward. Braving the lightning, he continued to advance. Until the star in the sky fell. A huge lightning beast rushed out of the starlight. Lin Moyu didn't even need a detection spell to know that this was a Lord-level lightning beast. Ordinary lightning beasts are only 5 meters tall, while the Lord-level lightning beast in front of him was over 10 meters tall when lying down. Ordinary lightning beasts became small in front of it. Not to mention the skeletons, the 2-meter-tall skeleton berserkers were like ants in front of it. As soon as the lightning beast appeared, it rushed towards Lin Moyu, as fast as lightning. Lin Moyu had already released the Undead Legion when the starlight fell. The skeleton berserkers took the lead, rushing forward, with lightning constantly exploding on their bodies during the charge. The Lich Generals continuously cast Legion healing skills from the rear. Facing the Lord-level lightning beast, Lin Moyu did not dare to take it lightly. He summoned all the liches except for the lightning lich. Layers of halos appeared under the skeletons' feet. The skeletons' speed increased, and their defense was enhanced. The lightning beast was frozen and poisoned at the same time. Red, green, and white lights lit up almost simultaneously. Curses, poisons, and bone prisons descended on the lightning beast one after another. Although bone prisons cannot prevent the lightning beast from self-destructing, it can now interrupt their momentum. The skeleton berserkers quickly surrounded them, while the archmages and sharpshooters retreated while braving the lightning, creating distance. This would at least allow the archmages and sharpshooters to avoid self-destruction damage. If the power of the self-destruction was too great, causing the all-round connection talent to fail and instantly kill the skeleton berserkers, his own losses would be smaller. Having reached this point, Lin Moyu no longer expected a perfect victory. As long as he could win, paying a price was acceptable. He cast a detection spell with his finger. Knowing that the opponent was a Lord-level boss, he still had to take a look at the attributes. Lightning Giant Beast Lord-level boss. Level 80. Strength 800,000. Agility 800,000. Spirit 600,000. Constitution 700,000. Skills: Lightning Absorption, Passive Lightning Bombardment. Characteristics: Lightning Element Immunity, can absorb lightning to enhance itself, Life Enhancement, Strength Enhancement, Speed Enhancement. Apart from the attributes, everything else was exactly the same as an ordinary lightning beast. 81. And level 80 Overlord class Thunderlight Behemoth has its all-around stats as high as 2.9 million. Whereas a normal Thunderlight beast only has 1.6 million in all-around stats, a difference of a full 1.3 million. Such a large gap creates a qualitative difference in combat power between the two. Although the stats have only increased by less than a factor of 1, it is enough to single-handedly take on 3 ordinary Thunderlight beasts, or even more. After seeing the stats, Lin Mo looked at the source rune on the back of his hand. After thinking for a moment, he didn't use it. Now is not the time. It is estimated that if he continues to venture deeper, he will have to use it sooner or later. He might even use other trump cards. In the face of the Overlord-class Thunderlight Behemoth's enormous attack power, the skeleton berserkers seemed a bit weak. Each of its attacks could send a large number of skeleton berserkers flying. Fortunately, there were enough skeleton berserkers, and the Lich General's healing was fast enough. Each time they were knocked away, they ran back as if nothing had happened and continued to attack. Tens of thousands of skeleton berserkers firmly surrounded the Thunderlight Behemoth, not giving it a chance to rush over. The skeleton archmages and sharpshooters were all focusing their attacks on it, without stopping for a moment. Lin Mo watched all of this, his eyes constantly flashing. The 5th stage should have 2 Overlord-class bosses. The 6th stage, 3. The 7th stage, will a world-class Thunderlight beast appear? I hope the level isn't too high. Under the siege of the undead army, the Thunderlight Behemoth was finally on its last breath. Its whole body began to glow. Killing it wasn't difficult, the most difficult part was this moment. Apart from the skeleton berserkers, Lin Mo and the other members of the undead army retreated to the farthest distance, more than 1,000 meters away. Lin Mo didn't know if these distances were enough, he didn't know how large the self-destruction range of a level 273 Overlord-class boss was. The extremely dazzling electric light made Lin Mo instinctively close his eyes. There was no sound in the Burial Thunder Valley, no matter how intense they fought, it was a silent movie. Lin Mo closed his eyes, unable to see anything. The sensations of the skeleton berserkers kept coming into his mind. A large number of skeleton berserkers were melted in the thunderlight. The self-destruction of the Thunderlight behemoth covered a range of about 500 meters, which was much larger than that of ordinary Thunderlight beasts. The power was also not on the same level. The Thunderlight, which was enough to instantly kill skeleton berserkers, raged continuously, causing the comprehensive connection talent to completely fail. The undying aura revived the skeleton berserkers, but death came again in less than 0.1 seconds. In a sense, the undying aura had also lost its effect. This self-destruction killed at least more than 3,000 skeleton berserkers. Lin Mo breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he had told the skeleton berserkers to retreat early, otherwise the casualties would have been even greater. After taking care of the Overlord-class Thunderlight behemoth, Lin Mo took a deep breath. In any case, he had already grasped the situation of the Thunderlight behemoth's self-destruction. He would be able to deal with it calmly in the next level. He continued to move forward, summoning skeleton berserkers while walking to replenish the losses. Once Lin Mo grasped the situation, the subsequent progress would be much simpler. The 5th and 6th levels were as he had expected. The Thunderlight behemoths first became 2, and then 3. Lin Mo easily dealt with them all. Half a day later, Lin Mo had arrived in front of the 7th level. Looking at the 4 forked roads in front of him, Lin Mo took a deep breath. The next one will be a tough battle. Chapter 480. This should be a forbidden zone. The 7th passage, which is the 7th level in Lin Mo's eyes. The thunder and lightning attacks inside have reached 3.8 times the original intensity. In the 10,000-meter-long passage, one needs to rest every 1,000 meters. Otherwise, the undead army's recovery will not be able to keep up with the damage, even with the recovery speed in the summoning space being faster. Of course, Lin Mo could also choose to walk slower, so that the damage and recovery are proportional. With the experience of the previous 6 passages, Lin Mo now has an extremely good understanding of the Burial Thunder Valley. His eyes reveal confidence, as if everything is under control. Upon entering the 7th passage, he was immediately greeted by a silent thunder. Lin Mo couldn't help but tremble. 3.8 times the Thunderlight is indeed not easy to bear. He could sense that the undead army in the summoning space had suffered some damage. Even an level 80+ knight would be seriously injured by this level of attack. Almost every step required several treatments from the healers. If it were in level 80 healer, the possibility of being instantly killed would be very high. He looked up at the sky. A brighter star hung in the sky, looking like a bright full moon. World-class Thunderlight beast, Lin Mo murmured softly, exactly as he had guessed. First, it was the ordinary Thunderlight beast, then the Overlord-class Thunderlight beast, and now it was finally the World-class Thunderlight beast's turn to appear. From the 4th passage onwards, there was no turning back, one could only move forward. Lin Mo believed that someone must have come here over the years. But in the end, no one was able to leave. No one leaving was the most terrifying, no one brought the news back. Making the Burial Thunder Valley always a high-level dangerous area. According to Lin Mo's standards, this should not be a high-level danger, but a higher level. Forbidden Zone. This is more suitable for the Burial Thunder Valley. Even level 88 or 89 professionals may not be able to last until the end. Moreover, from what Antares said, it could be heard that entering after level 80 might be even more troublesome. Lin Mo didn't know exactly what the trouble was, but Antares shouldn't be lying. When he reached the 998th step, Lin Mo stopped and didn't continue. As long as he continued forward 2 more steps, the stars in the sky would fall, and the world-class Thunderlight beast would appear. Lin Mo stopped here and summoned the undead army. 30,000 skeletons occupied a large amount of space. Fortunately, the valley was very spacious and could still accommodate them. The scale of the Burial Thunder Valley far exceeded imagination. It didn't seem very large from the outside, but the internal space was surprisingly large. The light of healing continued to flicker, and the Lich General quickly healed the entire undead army. In just over 10 seconds, the undead army had recovered as before. He looked at the stars in the sky, and Lin Mo took a deep breath. It's about to begin. He put away the skeleton berserkers, while the skeleton archmages, skeleton sharpshooters, and Lich General stayed in place to stand by. Then Lin Mo suddenly ran forward. The thunderlight shone brightly, and Lin Mo quickly rushed through 1,000 meters, braving the thunderlight. Watching the stars in the sky fall, a giant thunderlight beast as high as 30 meters, like a mountain range, rushed out of the starlight. 82. The thunderlight beast's gaze instantly locked onto Lin Mo, and it pounced swiftly. Lin Mo pointed his finger, a red light flashed, and the curse of aging was released in response, along with the detection spell. Using 2 skills in succession, Lin Mo ran forward without waiting for the results. He ran fast, but the Thunder Light Beast was even faster. Even with the curse, its speed still surpassed Lin Mo's. The effect of the curse was not obvious on it. In fact, curses are weakened against world-class bosses. Many high-level world-class bosses even have the ability to remove curses. A frost lich, its body glowing with blue light, appeared beside Lin Mo. The freezing aura took effect instantly, slowing its speed again. With the combined effect of the curse and the freezing aura, Lin Mo could barely maintain a similar speed to it. Thunder light constantly erupted from its body, and currents rolled as the effects of the curse and freezing aura were being eroded. Lin Mo ignored it and ran forward. The detection spell, carried by a gentle breeze, brought back information. Open black lens bracket Thunder Light Divine Beast World-Class Boss Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level, 80 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket strength, 1,000,000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket agility, 1,300,000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket spirit, 600,000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket constitution, 1,200,000 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket skills, lightning absorption passive thunder light bombardment, 10 directions of thunder close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket traits, thunder element immunity, can absorb lightning to enhance itself, enhanced vitality, enhanced strength, enhanced speed, close black lens bracket. Total attributes reaching 4.1 million, very fitting for the identity of a world-class boss. Thunder Light Beast, Thunder Light Giant Beast, Thunder Light Divine Beast. All Thunder Light Beasts, but 3 distinct levels. Having dealt with Thunder Light Beasts several times, Lin Mo is very clear about its skills. The passive skill is to absorb lightning elements. If it absorbs enough, it can not only heal injuries but also increase its strength. So, a quick battle is necessary, and time cannot be wasted. The second skill, called Thunder Light Bombardment, is actually its self-destruction skill. Since the appearance of the Lord-class Thunder Light Giant Beast, this skill has damaged the Undead Legion every time. The power of the self-destruction is too great to avoid, and Lin Mo is helpless. This world-class Thunder Light Divine Beast in front of him had a third skill. Lin Mo didn't know what the 10 directions of Thunder skill was, but it would not be a simple skill to appear on a world-class boss. Lin Mo couldn't help but be cautious. In addition to the skills, there were also the characteristics of the world-class boss itself. The Thunder Light Divine Beast was covered in thunder light. The thunder light flowed like plasma on the outside of its body, forming an electric plasma. Anyone who approached would be attacked by the plasma. Lin Mo didn't need to try to know that the power of the plasma would definitely not be weak. In any case, he still had to proceed according to the plan. Lin Mo ran nearly 1,000 meters in one breath, already distancing himself from the skeleton grand mages and sharpshooters behind him. The Lich generals constantly healed, keeping the overall Undead Legion undamaged. They did not act, waiting for Lin Mo's orders. Now, the most damaged in the Undead Legion were the skeleton berserkers, who were all in the summoning space and could not be healed. The Thunder Light Divine Beast had erased the curse, and its speed surpassed Lin Mo's again, and it was about to catch up. Lin Mo suddenly stopped, and at the moment of stopping, he released all the skeleton berserkers. The Lich General's Legion healing also landed at this moment, and the skeleton berserkers' injuries were instantly restored. As soon as the skeleton berserkers appeared, they stood between Lin Mo and the Thunder Light Divine Beast. They rushed up, swinging their axes and smashing them heavily on the Thunder Light Divine Beast. Originally, the Thunder Light Divine Beast's attention was fully focused on Lin Mo, but now, attacked, its attention immediately shifted to the skeleton berserkers. When the skeleton berserkers successfully attracted the Thunder Light Divine Beast's attention, Lin Mo seized the opportunity to retreat successfully, quickly retreating under the Thunder Light. The Thunder Light Divine Beast and the skeleton berserkers became the main battlefield, about 1,000 meters away from the Grand Mages and sharpshooters. Lin Mo controlled the distance well, just reaching the attack limit distance of the Grand Mages and sharpshooters. The Grand Mages and sharpshooters had not acted all along, they were waiting for Lin Mo's orders. After Lin Mo retreated, the berserkers had firmly attracted the Thunder Light Divine Beast's attention. The Thunder Light Divine Beast's attack power was indeed a bit terrifying, and the plasma damage on its body was terrifying. The skeleton berserkers would be severely damaged upon contact. If it weren't for the Lich General's healing speed being fast enough, the loss of skeleton berserkers would have bin very alarming. Under Lin Mo's command, the skeleton berserkers took turns attacking. All skills were retained, none were released. Lin Mo's expression was solemn. Whether his plan could succeed depended on now. Let's begin. The origin rune on the back of his hand suddenly lit up. A strange aura spread in the Burial Thunder Canyon, and the Undead Legion's aura increased crazily. Full power, focus fire. The moment the open black lens bracket strong soldier's close black lens bracket skill took effect, Lin Mo issued the attack command. The skeleton grand mages and skeleton sharpshooters launched attacks at the same time. The skeleton berserkers also went on a rampage, and the sharp axes in their hands lit up with a brilliant red light. A point of green light exploded in the field, Poison Starburst. Poison Starburst, with damage increased by 6 times on the basis of 60 times amplification. Within the 30 seconds of the strong soldier's skill, it could cause nearly 190,000 damage per second. This damage was simply a group-killing weapon for ordinary monsters. Although it was not enough for the world boss, it could very effectively curb its recovery ability. It had been effectively verified in previous battles. In addition to the Thunder Lich, other elemental liches appeared at the same time, and various halos shone under the skeleton's feet.